Today will be one of those good old paranoia streams, because while setting up earlier, suddenly, for a fraction of a second, our camera went black. Plus, Tifa had the incredible foresight to leave all the windows open, making it not that warm in here, so she is wearing a sweater, which tends to make her do funny things with her microphone cable, and also the quote thing is still broken. And our other commands didn't work early either. So, happy Sunday everybody.
You done now?
It's gonna be one of those days. Usually this feels like a Monday, but today is Sunday after all.
It's been a relatively productive Sunday with cleaning up. Yeah.
Tifa, you are always super low energy after you cleaned up, yet you keep insisting on cleaning up.
Needs to be done.
I think you're doing it on purpose.
Needs to be done. Who else is going to clean up? Exactly.
The apartment itself.
Oh, imagine. I think we're in the...
Also, what happened to your hair?
What's wrong with my hair?
I mean, we can recognize it's you, but that's not usually what your hair looks like.
I think my hair seems fine.
Also, outside of our voices being our voices, or the usual weird things we say, if you hear any microphony breaking-y sounds, please let me know, because Tifa's gonna be the death of me. Yada yada curse oyashiro-sama. Indeed. Indeed. You people clean up? Not to the point where I end up like this mental state, no. I do a little bit and then I take a break, and then I do more later or the next day. I do
like
it as I go.
3 things away and then you call for a break.
We've talked about this before. I clean things as I go. Tifa and I, because we're lazy, we don't do anything for like a week, 10 days. And when Tifa gets into this like depressed state about the state of the apartment, and then she spends a few hours cleaning up, and then there's this moment of happiness about it, and then there's still the being drained of realizing this is your life. You will have to do this again in a couple days, because unfortunately that's just how chores work.
I mean, tomorrow we're not done at all.
And? Just do a little bit every day.
Well, yeah. So tomorrow we do a little bit more. That's the problem. We do not do that.
I think, Tifa, you're doing this to yourself.
Just do it only every week. Well, we used to be pretty good at doing it every Sunday.
Basically.
But that's kinda...
It's the part I don't understand.
Died down. What do you mean it's the part you don't understand? You don't do it yourself either.
I think Tifa is doing it to herself. Also, welcome in Psycho. Hello everybody. How are you all doing? Are you also sad about the quote system not working? AKA Tifa being the way she is about this. While Tifa is doing whatever she was just doing, I'm still trying to figure out why this doesn't work, because after stream I couldn't figure it out either. I can tell you that I wasn't logged in. I am now logged in again. And it should work. It should work. I don't get this. I don't understand it. It's now connected, I can tell you that.
Now you probably need to restart it.
I'll restart you, Tifa. Oh well. It is what it is. Who needs working things anyway, right?
No quote.
Life is
like a raisin bread.
Broken systems we find along the way. What? Was it raisin bread?
I thought you were throwing in a Dutch wisdom.
There are no Dutch wisdoms. There are things you call Dutch wisdoms, but truly they are not wisdoms.
I bet there's also going to be the bread one. Ah,
nope.
For a second I really thought it was.
At least that system works. Talking about little cows and little cows. Talking about unimportant things.
Yeah.
Cows are important though.
That seems about right. It's also been a relatively boring weekend.
Has it been? We had hot dogs yesterday.
that is true. We actually did go to IKEA yesterday,
oh
as
God,
we said we would on Tuesday.
It was so freaking annoying. Oh my God.
Broke the strawberry ice cream machine.
I feel like this needs to be introduced slightly differently. So Tifa apparently, from somewhere, learned a IKEA hack. To preface this additionally, don't do this. Apparently, if your IKEA has a soft serve ice cream machine, if you make it so that the cone that you put into the machine, when you press a button, the cone goes up, it poops the ice cream, and it goes down, you take the ice cream out. Apparently, if you hold the ice cream cone up a little bit, you get more ice cream out of it. Which I don't know anything about. Also, I don't want to put my hand in a working machine, because if I do, things will break. We go there yesterday. We ordered 2 hot dogs, a veggie one for me and whatever mystery meat it is for Tifa. I think it's supposed to be chicken.
Mystery bird.
Poultry.
Dat says geflügel.
Yeah, birds.
Something with wings.
Birds. I expected this from Jack, not you, Tifa.
Well, gotta be honest, I didn't use the trick yesterday. The machine broke by itself. No. Because I was still eating my hot dog and Jack was done.
Why do you have to shit on the punchline before the joke is set up?
Oh, I thought you were just getting into... Okay, go.
No, you also want to spoil a Higurashi or something while you're at it?
No, keep going with your story, it's okay.
Tifa, there is no point to this story anymore.
Yes, there is.
This is like trying to climb Mount Everest. I was just putting the gear on all of you and me, and just as we were about to set out of base camp, Tifa goes and blows up the fucking peak of a mountain.
There was no ruining the thingy here. Just continue your story.
Welcome in Dark Lord. I'm very happy to see you.
What he said.
How are you doing? I feel like I'm getting crazy as a door here. Anyway, so we go where we we have our stuff, we eat our hot dogs. And then Tifa wants to get her ice cream. So how it works in Germany, at least all the ones I've been to, is they give you an ice cream cone, an empty, naked, plain one, and a coin. And then you go to the machine that gives you ice cream and you put your cone in a holder, and when you put the coin in the coin slot, you press a button and it does the thing. And we go there and I put in the coin comes out. Put the coin again, coin comes out. I rub it over my pants, put the coin in again, coin comes out. I look at the coin, put the coin back in, coin comes out. I'm like, Tifa, this coin isn't working. I think they gave us the wrong coin. Oh, can you talk to them? Sure, I'll talk to the nice staff. It's your ice cream, but I'll do the social interaction.
Yes.
I take the coin, I go to the counter, I'm like, hey, sorry, we're trying to get a strawberry vegan ice cream thing and it doesn't work. She's like, yeah, that's the wrong coin, that's for vanilla. I'm like, okay, but we did order the vegan one. She gives me that look like, really? I'm like...
Because you said the vegan one, just say strawberry.
I'm like, well, you can double check the order. It was number of our order, which is in the system, I hope. He's like, no, it's fine, and gives me a new coin. Also, hello, Ranger.
It's the same price, by the way.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she gives me a new coin. I go back to the machine and I put in the coin. And the ice cream cone goes up. Ice cream comes out. The cone doesn't move. More ice cream comes out. More ice cream comes out. More ice cream comes out.
And the cone is still stuck on it.
And the cone holder goes down. But the cone is stuck in the top of a machine with ice cream now flat over it like an umbrella. So there is like 6 ice creams worth of ice cream pressed into a frozen sheet holding the ice cream cone. You get plastic coins. I think so.
No, they were...
I'm not sure.
Like money coins.
So metal.
Metal, yeah. I couldn't think of
money coins.
I couldn't think of the thingy.
Could be either. So now we're standing there. And Tifa did get her wish fulfillment. She was like, oh, hold the cone up and we get more. I was like, if you want to do that thing, you'll do it yourself. I will not touch this. She was mad at me, or at least disappointed. Maybe both. A token, we call them. That makes sense.
It did look like a lot of ice cream, but now it was plastered all over the inside of the machine.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, I kind of want a new one.
Tifa gives me the look where she's trying to give you the Puss in Boots look. Can you talk to them again? Like, no. No. Tifa, we came here so that you can have your shitty ice cream. I've already spoken to them once. It's your turn. You want this ice cream? You go earn the ice cream. Tifa gives me a look that could kill if you were a weaker person. Didn't work on me because I don't care. I'm dead inside. Tifa scurries off to the counter. And she goes, my ice cream is stuck. And they're like, yeah, just take it out then. He's like, no, it's stuck.
It's stuck to the ceiling.
And then they say something which I can't hear.
And they're like, you need to turn it. I'm like...
Tifa comes back and I'm like, so what did they say? And she's like, I don't know. Will one of them come to have a look? I don't know.
Yeah, they walked off with an O. I assume they come. But they didn't say anything.
So we stand there for what feels like way too long until eventually somehow, despite the counter being in front of us in our cone of sight, somehow a person approached from behind. I don't know how that worked. Apparently they can teleport. So this nice person shows up with a new ice cream cone and she comes and looks at me and she says, ah, that's a new one. She wiggles it free and literally it's an ice cream cone and there's like a sheath, like a sword handle of ice cream with a little bump, and it's like literally 5 or 6 portions of ice cream condensed into this sheet. So she like proudly carries it to her colleagues, shows it to everybody, gives it to one, they throw it away. When she comes back, puts the thing in,
and
the ice cream cone. Go fuck yourself. And then it worked. Thanks. Super climactic, Tifa. Nice. Awesome.
How are you gonna finish it? The ice cream cone went up. Ice cream came out.
It doesn't matter how I would have ended it, Tifa.
Cone went down.
If Tifa made porn, it would be 2 people or more, it doesn't matter, getting all hot and bothered, and then it would just cut to black, white words just flash on the screen, and then they fucked. End of video.
That's realistic, isn't it?
Ruined Jack's day and his retelling of the story. Yes. Yes, indeed.
It's like Higurashi writing.
If Ryukishi 07 had written Higurashi the same way you fuck up stories, because you do not tell stories, you butcher them.
Okay, I misclicked on the wrong ending. Now we go back to the save state and we have a choice between it works and the ice cream cone went up, and now I click on ice cream cone went up. So you can continue from there.
I have any idea how much I hate you right now. I don't think it's quantifiable. I still love her more than I hate her right now, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here. So the nice person comes with a new cone and a new coin, puts the cone in, puts the coin in, presses the button. Triumphantly, the cone holder rises to the top, reaching the apex of its traditional movement. The ice cream machine goes brrr, it goes. The cone is moved down again, and inside is the most disappointing amount of ice cream I have ever seen. I think they shrunk their portion size by half since the last time I've seen this. But Tifa said it was still good.
Yeah, it was still good. And you pay like €1, and for the €1 you pay, you still get more than you get at a normal ice cream place.
I don't feel like that. Anyway.
I do.
That was a great ending to the story, right? Totally not prefaced by all of this earlier.
So yeah, that was the Saturday.
Callie and Ranger each ate a pint of ice cream while watching a movie the other day. So yummy. Which ice cream did you have? Please let me live vicariously through you, because I sit next to a person who hates me having fun. Anything else you want to ruin for me? What's next? Santa isn't real?
No, I think that's it for today. I'll think about it on Tuesday.
Strawberry and Callie had chocolate. Nice. Wait, are you saying you specifically plan the times you can ruin my day for when it's televised?
No, but maybe then something comes up better.
Tifa, I have a question for you that I believe is on everybody's mind right now. Why are you an asshole?
He doesn't know about Sinterklaas yet. Yeah, but Sinterklaas is real.
Dark Lord, it's too early. It's too early. Once a year we have a way too long conversation about Sinterklaas and the absolute racism that is Zwarte Piet in the Dutch culture. And every year the conversation goes the same way. Everybody does the same oohs and ahs. Are they for real? Are you serious? Are they really doing this? Are people really saying this isn't racist? But that day is not today. Because it's not near Sinterklaas yet.
It does already sell the Sinterklaas stuff is already in the stores.
Of course, I mean, Germany also started selling Christmas stuff like 4 weeks ago, I want to say.
Yeah, it came really early this year.
It's strange. Psycho, what I'm about to say, my stomach is agreeing with me being disagreeable with Tifa. Without wanting to dox you. Where you live, do they also skip Halloween in the stores? Because once again, ever since like the last week of August, every store I've been to went full in on Christmas stuff. As in Lebkuchen, Spekulatius and everything else. I don't see Halloween stuff yet. But do you see Christmas stuff?
We've been past a couple stores that have put up Halloween stuff.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
Where?
Like the...
They don't have Christmas stuff with you yet.
What's that little...
I envy you. Autumn decorations at best. Okay, that gives me hope. That means it seems to be a localized thing. That means just the stores we have been to are weird.
Ask me tomorrow.
I will remember. I'll try to remember.
Like the majority of supermarkets have already thrown out their Lebkuchen and stuff and Speculation.
But the stuff you normally buy during like winter Christmas season over here.
Speculation should be on sale every year though.
They are on sale every year. I believe what you're trying to say is all year.
True, all year.
Mm-hmm. It's not fun when somebody ruins it for you, is it?
But also that's not ruining it.
Felt like it.
But also with Halloween, I feel like you can't really compare that here because you do have a couple stores that put up Halloween stuff and then it's more like little decoration sort of things. But it's not big enough.
I think it was last year
to go all out.
That our local supermarket, the one closest to us, again, mid-August went all in on Christmas stuff. And then, I want to say, the Monday before Halloween suddenly seemed to have realized, oh shit, we still got Halloween stuff. And then they dumped every bit of Halloween decoration into the store for exactly 1 week. And the day after Halloween happened, it was gone. Like completely cleared up. It was like Halloween never happened.
Yeah,
if you hadn't been there in that time frame, it just didn't exist.
They don't make any money off Halloween. Halloween is definitely not like it is in the US. Like nobody cares about Halloween here.
I do. It's my grandmother's birthday.
That is true, but when it comes to actual decoration, you won't see anything here. Like in the US, you have huge skeletons, zombies in the yard, you see ghosts, tombstones. People go all out on Halloween.
Yeah.
And here you might have the occasional kids running around in the afternoon trick-or-treating and they're not even in costume. They just expect candy because it's something that blew over
I'm
from
a kid
the US.
cosplaying as a kid. No, you don't.
But only the candy part blew over.
It's a shame I could dress up as myself. You could do that. One day I want to do like a cosplay swap with Tifa where I cosplay her and she cosplays me. My hair is almost at the right length for it. I could do it.
Yeah.
I would need a hair curler. And you would need to straighten your hair.
That won't end too well.
True. There's a short time when they might have New Year's stuff, but that's it straight to Valentine's Day. Fair enough. So the first hits, then switch over to all Christmas. Yeah, it's all commercial at this point, isn't it?
I think Christmas started like mid-September-ish here. Same in the Netherlands though, because there the Sinterklaas stuff showed up around the same time.
Yeah, that's true. Olivia's decided she will be Rumi and Kelly will be Zoe or Mira. I will be the bird and Eli will be the tiger. That is adorable and we need to see pictures of it if you're wanting to share those.
I definitely want to see the family picture of that one.
Yeah. I look forward to the bird the most because I think that's my favorite character. Design-wise.
You are definitely the bird.
I am 100% the bird and Tifa is 100% the tiger in real life. Yes. Yes. Tifa would definitely deliver mail by mouth if she could get away with it. Spoilers, not really spoilers for K-pop Demon Hunters. Getting on the Mothman costume. What was Mothman again? Okay, yeah.
Wait, why does that look so familiar? What have we seen that from?
I'm pretty sure there's at least one horror movie with a Mothman in it even.
Oh, that could be, I guess.
Just a hunch.
That's gonna be a cool costume.
It depends on how you do the face, on how scary I would perceive it to be, I think. Because, I mean, moth wings could just be butterfly wings as well. But if you do a full moth face, that will freak me the hell out. What was that line I heard once? I think it was a Watsky song. Wait, let me look it up. Now that I remember the artist, I can give you the lyrics. What's the name of his song? I'll need to look it up. Watsky songs. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family lyrics. There was a great line about butterflies. I don't want to butcher it. But I think every family is a butterfly. You know, pretty from afar, pretty gross up close. And while I love all the meanings to that, I'm specific on about the fact that butterflies, like moths, can look cute and adorable from, you know, seeing them fly past you. But if you ever see a close-up picture of a butterfly, which I will not show you on screen because they are not pretty in my opinion. I will show one to Tifa though. Yeah, that looks like it wants to eat my soul. It very much looks like something out of a Tim Burton movie. It's about to...
That's what every insect and
things.
Probably our faces do. But close-up moths are very pretty. I still have PTSD from moths though.
They have fluffy ears. There are some moths that look like fairies, and those are adorable. We once had one land on our window.
Yeah.
There was a really big one too. It did the, hey, let me in, bro, I'm a fairy kind of wave. That was cute. So Mothman is a cryptid who lives in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, or is it Wyoming? Where he either swoops at people or warns them about bridge collapses. About bridge collapses. That's
very specific, by the way. Swoops at people.
A very specific set of skills.
Yeah. Or warns them about something.
Yeah. So what do you like to do? I like to annoy people by flying towards them or telling them about impending disasters.
You know what I like telling?
That the Silver Bridge was not well constructed.
Close.
It's not as fun when somebody ruins the climax, isn't it?
No, I'm completely fine with that. But I was thinking if I had a good follow-up on that, but no. And then I was thinking, do I enjoy telling about the Silver Bridge that was not well constructed? Only if it was like a I told you so during construction and I said something about it, and then I go like afterwards like, I told you so, this silver bridge is not well constructed.
You know
Do you
what
regret your choice already?
Do you know what will never be mistaken for an owl in a tree that people thought was a big Mothman?
You?
Tifa's recaps. I can't do an owl face, sorry.
We would be the pigeon in the tree.
Yes.
As you mistake for an owl.
Yes. However, I must ask, Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cried Chapter 8 Matsuribayashi?
The last time we played Higurashi, we finished a conversation between Takano and Hanyu having declared war upon each other and who has the biggest willpower. We then swap over to Mr. Fourth Dimensional Being, Mr. Fragment living in Rika's head, who is going on that we will now watch fragments from Hanyu's perspective.
That's not true.
I'm quite sure she said
that's not true.
This is from Hanyu.
No. No.
I'm very certain.
The voice between the worlds as Tifa is doing a cat wash on her nose apparently.
My nose is really itchy. But
told us that this is it. If we want to give up like Hanyu and Rika once did, this is the moment. Just stop playing the game and uninstall Matsuribayashi. And accept death as it happens at the end of Chapter 7. However, if we too believe that the perfect June 1983 can be achieved, we will have to do this ourselves. And in order to do so, we will need to find what makes the perfect June 1983, the perfect set of circumstances to overcome the near infinite willpower of Takano. To do so, we must look at and eventually combine somehow 50 fragments around the tale of Hinamizawa. Learn things and then see how we can reconfigure everything to twist our fate into the desired outcome. The fragments are somehow connected. A lot of the fragments require you to have prior knowledge of other fragments. We made the mistake, potentially, of clicking on one that we didn't have the requirements for, and then that thing kind of shattered, so hopefully we can fix this later.
But that wasn't a mistake. It was just to check what happens.
But beyond that, when we're not being interrupted finishing our sentence, we have gone through a number of fragments, learning things about the dam construction operation withdrawal, for example. Spoilers, it was just Takano, Iri and Tumitake talking about it. Implying that Takano would do something about it. We learned that the dam construction worker guy that got killed apparently didn't get set up by anybody in particular, but he went terminal with Hinamizawa syndrome. He attacked the other people working there, and then they fought back to defend themselves, ending up killing him, and then because they didn't want to go to jail, they dismembered him because it would be easier to hide the corpse. We also learned that Tumitake loves photography and he went on a date with Takano, who played along and also wants to take photos now. We learned that the old guy, foreman from the dam construction site, was basically like a second father to Ooishi.
We already knew that.
Ooishi having grown up as a policeman in a time where there was a famine post-World War II in Japan. That's how they bumped into each other, and there's some story. What else did we learn?
We saw a fragment of the meeting about the dam construction, where Satoko's father went complete apeshit basically against the council, and Hanyu was there going on about the anger and hatred people are feeling.
The demons are awakening.
Basically, we learned a little bit about Satoshi. Actually, we didn't learn anything there. It was just a fragment about Satoshi picking up Satoko, and we learned that Satoko had a bad relationship with all of her stepfathers, which we kind of already knew, but it went into a bit more details about the things she has gone through, and that's kind of it.
Satoko is basically conflating all of her negative experiences with a multitude of stepfathers she's had in her young life. And she has a hard time dealing with that whole situation, which isn't helped by another thing we learned. Satoko's mom also does or has done some things that I don't consider too great, like flat out telling her 6-year-old daughter, you shouldn't have been born. You know, it's not really great for a child. She's not even a Hojo by birth. Exactly, Hojo is just the name of the latest guy.
Her last name keeps changing, obviously, with every remarriage.
But most importantly, because I think that's going to come up again at some point, Satoko believes that her mother and her current father want to kill her. Because having her around makes it harder for the mom to find a new husband that will stay because of all the effort involved with raising children by somebody else and the whole shebang.
She's spiraling in Hinamizawa syndrome.
Yeah. So today there'll be more fragments.
Okay.
Which will annoy Tifa because I will be reading out the requirements again.
You already went through them!
Did I though?
Yes! You don't need to read them out for every fragment. Someone say something about this. Because he's not gonna listen to me.
That is correct. Look! Fragments! Interactive gameplay. We need to move around. Is Tifa right? Tifa is right this time.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but
it takes a lot of time. It's annoying. Just click on the ones.
Okay, because this is the only way I know how to do this. I will now give a mouse to Tifa. This is gonna go horribly wrong, and then I'll let her pick.
Okay, that works. But first, I'm going back to 5 because.
Do we already have? Could you at least read out the title of the thing?
Okay, that is fair. If the one we're clicking on, this is about the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family having a conflict. I literally just told you what this is about.
I feel so much better now that I'm in control again.
Just told you that this is about a conflict between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family.
This fragment is called Rika Furude. Oh look, we found one we can do. Beautiful. I think it's your turn to read the lines. I believe you will be narrating this one.
Give me the mouse back.
No.
Give me the mouse.
You can re-earn it during this fragment, Tifa.
You need to earn it. I ran into Satoko while on my way to the grocery store for my mother. Satoko said she was going there too, so we decided to go together. After exchanging our shopping lists, it became easy to guess what the other family would be having for dinner. Satoko's family is having grilled fish and cooked vegetables.
This is very early on in the timeline then, because Rika's mom is still around. Then again, so is... Wait, Satoko's parents died the year after Rika's, right?
Yeah, this is all way before things happen. We're having Salisbury steak.
My, that sounds so very good. I don't mind the grilled fish, but it's the vegetables I'm less fond of.
Literally the things Tifa will say. I believe the ideal sequence of these fragments are, for the most part, linear. I am yet to experience that.
Well, it kind of forces you in a line.
I'm certain there's still plenty of pumpkin left from the other day.
Then I bet you'll be getting a lot tonight. Poor Satoko. I love pumpkin.
Where's the sparkle?
There was a sparkle in the voice.
I don't appreciate knowing that pumpkin is going to show up on the dinner table. Nah.
Meep. You don't like pumpkin, no matter how it shows up.
Unless Shion feeds it to her.
Rika, you have some food you're not fond of, don't you? That's right. You don't like Daifukyu. Oh, Daifukyu.
Fuck you! What did Rika do?
Daifuku.
Imagine you bump into a little girl on the street. Fuck you! I don't think that's how the conversation went, Tifa.
It's the order of the letters.
It's Daifuku. Welcome in, Ruben. I believe you just came in at the perfect moment. And a happy Daifuku to you as well.
Oh, now it's gonna be hard to...
Daifuku is mochi wrapped around a snack, usually anko or strawberry. Yeah, or my middle finger. Salisbury steak is what Americans call Hamburg steak, a burger cooked in a demi-glaze.
I'll take it.
I did indeed die fuck you.
Well, a happy die fuck you to all of you.
It's also the name of a random One Piece character.
Die
One Piece mention.
Or hamburger steak.
I can't believe Oda of One Piece fame would steal from Higurashi. Shaking my head.
That's right. You don't like Daifuku, cream puffs, or anything sweet, don't you?
Wait, what?
It's not that I don't like those things. I just choose not to eat them. If I wanted to, I could eat sweets forever. I could even eat pumpkin pie too. Nippon. Pumpkin pie.
She chooses not to eat sweets. Does that have to do something with Hanyu? Because Hanyu loves sweets.
That could be. Even I prefer sweet potato pie.
I'll take a pumpkin pie too. I'll take pie. I don't care what's in it really.
We've made sweet potato pie a couple of times before. And it is absolutely delicious. But only when it's hot. I had a cold slice once. And it was the most disgusting thing ever.
No, our sweet potato pie is only nice when it's warm. It doesn't need to be piping hot. Like you can just store it in the fridge overnight and when you take out a piece. But I would recommend you throw it in the microwave for a couple of seconds so that it's at least warm. Like
and it's super
more
delicious.
than room temperature.
But the moment it's cold, it's like...
It's like us.
It's Daifuku.
Yucky fuck. Hey! 2 geniuses, 1 fall.
It's not fair that you aren't a picky eater.
Conversations like this are how I have fun. Satoko is my best friend. I usually don't like grocery shopping, but if I'm with Satoko, I can make it into an enjoyable evening stroll. Near the supermarket, there's grocers and others. There's grocers and other shops forming a little shopping district.
I have a question. Why are there grocers and not deliciousers?
I was waiting for it. The grocery store is busy this time of day. All the housewives in Hinamizawa gather here to shop. Since Satoko and I have different things to buy, we decide to do our shopping separately.
Welcome, welcome! Oh, Rika-chama, are you shopping for your mother? What a good girl!
Nippon. I'm a good girl who can go shopping by herself.
Wow, you're a very good girl. Wow, you really are a good girl. Here, I'll give you this. Why are there grocers but not kleiners? Dark Lord, that's a really good one, but I didn't consider doing that one because it requires a minimum understanding of the German language. If you are wondering what Dark Lord and I are talking about, grocer is bigger ones and kleiner is smaller ones. Get it? It's funny if you're bilingual.
But both are nicknames.
That's also true. Damn, there's layers to it.
I know, right? There were several candies for the owner's occasional asthma attack inside a sea full of change hanging in the front.
Candies for asthma attacks.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
He picked out a sweet from there and gave it to me. It was my favorite flavor, strawberry milk. I like strawberry. I like milk. I really do not like strawberry milk.
I hear you, but I'm focused on wie geht's, mein Kleiner? How is it, little one?
Something you hear a lot of guys say when they're alone. For those that need the context in German.
It's also usually how your gynecologist will greet you at some point.
I put it in my pocket so I can brag about it to Satoko later. I get a lot of fun out of teasing Satoko and making her jealous. She always overreacts, so I never get bored when I'm with her.
And when it's cold, exactly, Psycho. Only when it's cold. Usually I find it's too sweet. Strawberry milk, yeah. But once I've had this really artificial strawberry flavor. Like I never vibed with it. I like the smell, I don't like the flavor, which is weird.
I feel like it somehow doesn't work with the... Can you say texture of milk? No, not really.
Yes, you can. You can say that.
Well,
it doesn't work with the texture of milk, is what Tifa is trying to say, but is somehow afraid of saying because she doesn't want to offend big strawberry milk.
The flavor doesn't match the texture.
Yeah,
and that just kind of ruins it for me.
I do like cream strawberry candy though. Just
That's
not
right.
strawberry milk. This is the choice of Steins Gate. We need to play that at some point too.
True.
How long is that?
Steins Gate's also really long.
Okay, then maybe not anytime soon. What are you having for dinner tonight, Rika-chama? Ground pork.
We're making Salisbury steak. We're going to put flower-shaped fried eggs on top and draw pictures on them with ketchup.
That's really cute. No, that sounds like fun.
I enjoyed that conversation while filling my shopping basket. But then I overheard some woman whispering.
Do you see that blonde Hojo girl? Fuck her. I hate the Hojos.
They're talking about something that's a little harsh. They're talking about Satoko. How long do those village traders plan to stay here?
They should just leave.
They don't even have the guts to go shopping themselves and make their daughter do it instead. The woman went on and on. Ever since the Hojo family and the Sonosaki family got into a huge fight at the explanatory meeting for the dam project, the Hojo family has been ostracized within the village. At first, there were a significant number of families in favor of leaving, like the Hojos. But the main branch of the Sonosakis led a push to completely solidify the village opinion, and as that tone of unified resistance grew stronger, the pro-evacuation family steadily grew quiet. The public harassment
You good?
Yeah. The public harassment led by the Sonosakis and Kimiyoshis, two of the three families with powerful influence on the village, also played an effect too.
Those are all very long sentences for a 6-year-old. Just saying.
The Sonosaki family made the Hojo family into an example to ensure there would be no more pro-evacuation supporters. The ancestors of the village have lived here for generations, and the villagers also know that they themselves will be buried in this village, so this harassment put a lot of pressure on them. Who was it that agreed to make the Hojo family the leader of the pro-evacuation group at the explanatory meeting? Those same people no longer said anything, and they even joined in on harassing the Hojo family. The harassment they faced then became pressure from the entire village. The Hojo family is hardly wealthy, and they haven't paid the town council fees in a long time.
There's town council fees? Isn't the work we put in as the town council enough? Why are there fees?
To keep it running.
Explanatory means that we hope to explain things. Thank you. That's very explanatory of you. Mob mentality is fucked up. 100% agree.
Yeah, but it's so easy to get pulled into that.
Yeah, like when Tifa is ruining my trying to tell a story.
That's not mobbing.
It could turn into it.
I'll die for Q. When things were peaceful, nobody said anything about it. But now that the wind was blowing a different way, the Hojo family was asked to pay off all of their late council fees immediately.
With interest.
It wasn't an amount they couldn't afford, but the Hojos recognized the fight was being picked with them and they responded to it.
City taxes. But doesn't everybody have to pay them?
And so, the Hojo family quit the town council.
Why is it town council fees and not town fees?
They were part of the town council, they pay...
So I have to pay more if I want to take care of things?
Yes.
That's
You
dumb.
pay for you to have a voice. But that
Modern democracy.
But that only played right into the village's evil plan. Making an enemy of the town council meant facing vicious harassment. For example, the place the Hojos dumped their trash was a provisional dumping site established by the town council and the waste management department. Under the council agreement, only council members could use it. Ever since the day the Hojo family quit the village council, their trash bags were returned to their front door.
Okay, hot take, that's fair. You pay for the privilege of using that trash dump place. If you don't pay, you don't have access to it.
Yeah, but in a normal situation, they would go like, hey, you can no longer use this, last warning.
We don't know if I did that.
They definitely did not. It's part of mobbing, you know.
I usually don't participate in that stuff, so no, I don't actually.
Furthermore, all the bags were torn.
Okay, that's a bitch move.
On top of that, a sign went up on the hedge road near the Hojo family. It said private road, no trespassing. Only council members permitted. The stubborn old man stood and guarded the road, saying that he would not let any of the Hojo family members pass through. A private road is private property opened up to the public, so it looks just like a normal road. However, as private property, the owner can forbid anyone else to pass through whenever they like.
I get the whole, like, we're bullying this family thing, but literally taking an example where you pay for the privilege of access and then they don't pay for it, so they don't get access, it's like lost on me.
It's about the way they do it. And you don't pay to have access to the road.
This kind of stuff happening only makes sense being in this rural village setting. I guess, yeah.
This would be a whole lot harder in a city. Because the chance that you would get entire streets with you in this little food you're having is probably impossible.
Losing the LA privileges, apparently.
More and more, the village piled on vicious harassment. The fear of antagonism spread through the entire village, and people became afraid that if they supported the Hojo family, they'd go through the same thing. This has made the Hojo family even more isolated. The grown-ups haven't told their kids about what's going on, so Satoko isn't harassed in any way at school. But it wasn't hard to imagine she probably spent her days feeling anxious she could hardly breathe.
I get it, I guess, but at the same time, the kids not picking up on it from watching their parents seems like it should happen, you know?
Even the woman whispering in here aren't saying anything directly to Satoko. But it's not like she doesn't notice their muttering and their cold stares. When did this village become so cold towards her? As her best friend, it's very sad for me.
I definitely see why school seemed like a safe space for Satoko in hindsight. Yes. Yeah. I was always shocked that none of the kids bullied her for being a Hojo. Which I still think is, at least the schools I've been to or I've seen, that's a little bit of a stretch. Like if all of your parents hate somebody, the kids will notice that at some point.
Well, the kids are all nice. Satoko's shopping experience is nothing like mine. When I say hello or buy things, I usually get treats or a discount, but that doesn't happen to Satoko. On the contrary, she's served last on purpose, and sometimes shop owners even pretend they don't hear her. Obviously, people don't want to have anything to do with her. Satoko had been weaving through the housewives crowding the shop, telling the fishmonger what she wanted, but she kept getting ignored. She decided to keep her smile and pretend she doesn't mind. But I know. It was far too painful for her to endure. At that point, Satoko dropped her coins on the ground.
Oh no.
Maybe her finger got stuck on something when she was trying to put the change back into her wallet. I ran through the crowd to help her pick them up. But as I did, I noticed something. Satoko dropped a lot of coins, and she's struggling to pick all of them up. But nobody is helping her. It's not just that. It's almost like they're acting like they don't even see her there. Satoko isn't expecting anyone to help her, since she's the one who dropped them. But there are so many people around. and not even one is trying to aid her. Satoko, I'll help you.
Okay, Rika.
That reaction is all I need to tell how hurt she is.
I want to slap all of the adults in this room.
Mame, how you doing?
Happy Earth to you as well. Think Sonozaki being friends with her was a deterrent. Fair, yeah, true. School has a natural equality or egalitarianism.
Get out of here.
Does it? I think realistically 1 or 2 kids should have been a bully to Satoko, but my personal canon tells me Rikishi did it to showcase the innocence of children. Fair enough. Sometimes I agree that we should show the world the way we want it to be, not necessarily the way the world is, as an example. You know, hey, could we be more like that?
Story-wise, that probably would have made it a little bit harder as well to add that into it too. Plus, I think here it helps that it's only one class of all ages and they all stay in the same class because there's 2 little children. I think that helps in getting the bond.
Yeah.
Instead of every year you have a new class, new kids. I think you would start bullying someone sooner if that is the case.
Yeah.
When I started to help Satoko, other housewives started to pick up the coins too. As if it's the natural thing to do. So they can only help if a shrine maiden of the Furude family does. If I didn't help, they would have disregarded her completely. And the fact that other people helped only because I did hurt Satoko even more. I grabbed the coins from the housewives without thanking them. I'd rather spit at them than do that.
Thank you very much, Rika. Everyone.
If she didn't thank him, people would talk about that too. Satoko forced out her words of gratitude. The housewives looked down at her with blank expressions. I can't stand this. I can't stand what Satoko is going through right now. If we're done, let's go, Satoko.
Sure.
I grabbed her arm and pulled her away.
Fuck all of these people.
I was frustrated, sad, and bitter.
My favorite trifecta of emotions. Yeah, true, the series was long enough, so creating bully characters would have required extra screen time on them. Yeah.
That too. More situations, more of that. Them having to deal with her friends, because there's no way Neon would stand by, for example, and let that happen. You would have an entirely different class dynamic, which would also change some of the stories that have happened so far, where they all banded together.
But it was, yes, true. At the same time, though, that could have opened another facet to when Keiichi was able to mobilize everybody in Chapter 7 to come together to save Satoko. That even the bullies were eventually on her side. That would have been like 6 chapters worth of having to show the antagonism for that little payoff compared to the rest of the story. So I get why you would not want to do that.
I think there's been enough to work with.
Yeah. That's why we only have undrawn punks and otakus causing trouble in town. Or faceless evil old people.
Yeah.
You mean just old people? Honestly, I'm fine with not having to see more bullying when necessary. True. Very, very fair. Teppei was enough. Yeah, Satoko has definitely been through enough bullshit. 100%.
What has she done? Reality is just too cruel. Everyone loves me. But can I share that love with Satoko? She must be wondering why people treat me so differently. I shouldn't come shopping with her. Or rather, I should have done her shopping instead. Satoko.
What is it, Rika?
I feel bad that you dropped your coins. So here's something that will make you happy. I wanted to at least ease her pain a little bit, so I pulled out the strawberry milk candy I just received. But Satoko refused to take it.
That candy was given to you.
My hand froze. She saw. She saw me getting this candy.
That person wanted you to eat it. So if I did, it'd be rude.
She turned her back on me and kept walking.
She's so innocent.
Without even saying goodbye, she continued on to her house with the shopping bags in her hand. I only wanted to ease her pain, but I ended up rubbing salt in her wound. How can I call myself her best friend? If I could, I would have crushed the candy right there.
It's a sweet notion, but good luck crushing candy in your hand. It's quite tough.
She can stand on it.
Really though? She's like super light. She's tiny.
Mouse, please.
No. The sin of pride can crush a community and your friends. That is true. If they aren't being taken by some crazy woman who has gone way off a deep end in her pursuit to honor her adoptive grandfather. You know what's worse than the sin of that pride though? The sin of my bladder. Tifa has made me drink so much ginger tea today that needs an out.
PRB.
PRB.
We are back.
We are. Seeing these fragments makes me so happy Satoko has a support system currently. Yes.
Yeah. She's
Definitely.
lucky she had some people with her at least.
I think still, and it took a long time, but Satoko has become my favorite character.
Wow.
Yeah. Why wow?
Because she was my favorite character, and now she's yours. Just like with my theories. Just pulling your leg. Give me the mouse.
Imagine people fighting that's only one person can have a character as a favorite. Oh, yeah.
I'm just pulling your leg. Mouse,
Also,
please.
on mercenaries, they can also crush your community and your friends. That is true.
That's very true.
Once again, giving the mouse to Tifa despite my better judgment. I think you can skip pages 6 and 7.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing. Let's see what we still need. I am really curious, by the way, about the death of the aunt. I hope we finally get to learn whether it was actually Satoshi or if it was not.
If it was Satoshi, I don't think I blame him. I mean, sorry, how do I put this? I don't think murdering somebody is ever the best choice. Do I understand somebody being driven to it based on the tales we've heard about how everything worked with or between them so far? Unfortunately, also yes.
Who is Koizumi Sensei again?
Koizumi Sensei is the old man that eventually backed Takano and gave her money and touched her butt.
Okay.
It's butt touch, man.
We didn't go through his death yet, but we did have a scene with Irie. Was he...
I believe we can do this one next, yes. But first, I heard a lot of people didn't like Satoko in the first couple chapters. Chapter 3 onwards, usually change their opinion. Yeah, the same. I hated her at first. I found her really annoying.
Satoko was, from the start, one of my favorite characters.
It took a while. Chapter 3 did it for me. Go back. Why do you continue on with other pages? Why do you get people confused?
Because I didn't think...
Kyosuke area's reminiscence is required. I believe we've seen this. Area's background.
Oh, we have. Okay.
Give me the mouse, Tifa. Maria. Maria? Are we pissing on the moon, Dark Lord?
What?
I still didn't watch the Snapcube fan lived up with Tifa. She still isn't a whole human being. She still doesn't know.
That doesn't sound like I need to.
You do. You need to see the moon being pissed on, Tifa. 100%. Everybody does. Also, you are a little bit too full. Okay, Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow. Nothing unites the internet more than typoing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow or Shodo is from Temu.
Shodo the Haggy Hog. Jack
Shodo
is...
the naked mole rat.
I told you that in private. It's my stripper name. Jack is right this time. Yes. Beautiful. I've wanted to become a doctor ever since I was little. Doctors make a lot of money. People look up to doctors. I think those are the kind of reasons I had. Funny, I wanted to become a robot when I was a kid. Took me a while to realize that wouldn't work out.
You can still be a robot.
Don't think so. I thought Jack Hammer was your stripper name. No. I'm too much of a realist for that. I couldn't lie to you like that. Brings me back to, well, how's it going, little one? Na, wie geht's, Kleiner? Combination human, robot and stripper sounds very German. I'm not sure, that sounds like a lot for only 24 hours.
What does that sound German?
Combination human, robot and stripper. I don't know. I was trying to give German a robot, but I got very light on the German part.
I was gonna say.
Combination human, robot and stripper sounds very German. Now, see,
Even then.
now I didn't sound like a robot. I can't do it. See, I can't even read the line appropriately. So when I played with my friends, I always acted like a doctor. Wait, that line can be misconstrued so much. So when I played with my friends, I always acted like a doctor. Back to hello, little one. I wanted to be a Sith Lord as a kid. Not cause I was edgy, the dark side just has cooler fashion sense.
That is usually very true, yeah.
Yeah, there's something about it.
That's as good as a reason to join the dark side as any. People have joined for worse or for less.
The drip is fire, yes. And when they cut you into bits and pieces and give you cyborg attachments, and I tell you, skill issue, just live with it, basically. I cleaned their wounds and applied ice packs when my friends sprained their ankles, using what I learned from household medical books. Everyone, including me, believed that I'd be a doctor one day. My family was poor, so they praised me for that goal. They told me that I needed to study a lot to become a doctor, so they borrowed some pseudo-medical books from the local library for me. Pseudo-medical books. Parental fees weren't cheap. So I would speed read one book in a day, and the next day my parents would go back to the store to exchange it for a different book, saying they accidentally borrowed a book they already borrowed before. By doing so, my parents borrowed 2 books for the price of 1. Of course, now I know those books were rather useless, but they were highly motivational just the same.
Then they were very valuable.
Exactly. Maybe you didn't learn what you needed later on for your job, but they were parts of a journey. Right?
Can't pay for motivation.
That's true. I would say the Empire, but I don't want to be seen as a Nazi. Yeah, it's unfortunate if you look at fashion and if you like stuff by the brand Hugo Boss, and you go, I kind of dig it. I want to learn more about this company. And then you scroll back through Wikipedia, and it's like, yeah.
You have people who pick schools based on their uniform and stuff.
That is true.
That's completely fine. That's completely normal.
That is true. There is just something about visual appeal. Wait until you learn about Volkswagen. Yeah! There's a lot of companies from like Europe that between 1920 and 1945 they were like, and we were there around that time, and then afterwards we did all of these things, and before that we were founded. It's like, you're missing parts of it, at least be honest about it. Oh well. Puma, Adidas, one of them was anti-Nazi. They were brothers. I couldn't tell you which one. I don't know enough about those companies.
Same. I believe Hugo Boss was...
Hugo Boss.
Hugo
Boss, completely different person.
Yeah, was mixing
Hugo Boss
2 thingies.
did work for the Nazis.
Yeah,
he made the uniforms. Not he specifically necessarily, but his company did.
Yeah, and the company that provided the gas is also pretty big.
BASF, they're still around too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still a pretty big company.
I think one of the biggest chemical companies in Germany, if not Europe, actually. It's true. You can look it up.
It's from all the experience.
My neighbors called me Dr. Kioske-kun, and I was always picked for class health officer at school.
Class health officer?
It's Japan, Tifa. They have everything.
Yeah, but it's the first time. I know, like, you have the class president and all of that, but this is the first time I hear class health officer. What does he do?
They just had a 5-year gap in their resume. More like 15, but same idea, yeah. I would love to not work at these companies necessarily, but to be in an interview where you have this like standoffish, dickish HR person go like, could you explain this 3-month gap in your resume? I'd be like, can you explain the 15-year gap in your resume between 1930 and 1945 in Germany? No? Good. Then stop asking these questions.
It only works if they actually don't have it on the website or anything.
I don't want to make this joke, but how do they advertise their gas quality? They don't, because they don't make gas. They make chemicals and derivative stuff off of that. And I don't know if they, at least in my lifetime, if they ever did anything like publicly to work through their history. I don't know if I did that after World War II, because I never looked at the company history, but I do know that Bayerische Anilin und something Fabrik, BASF, was the company that did provide the Nazis with stuff. Among others, they were not the only ones complicit. Tifa, Japan has yellow squid creatures as school teachers. Class health officers aren't all that special.
You're right. True.
Exactly.
It's the last thing to get stuck on.
Yes, especially in the world of Higurashi, where parasites make you go wonky.
I'm surprised the first thing I've heard about that.
Even my teachers helped me with the classes I needed to take to become a doctor. Of course, in reality, becoming a doctor isn't as easy as it might seem. I had to study diligently, and the path was most definitely rough. To become a doctor, one must attend college. Since my family was poor, I was told I wasn't allowed to go to an expensive private school. So I had to be admitted to a national public university. My grades weren't bad, but the admission rate to national public universities is very marginal.
Also, I would say this is Irie reminiscing.
Yes.
But to watch this one, we had to go through. Irie has been reminiscing.
Tifa, I believe Irie is similar to me in the sense that he likes the sound of his own voice. So this is like the sequel.
Oh, this is reminiscing part 2.
Yeah, this is reminiscent to Electric Boogaloo. I can only imagine how fucked it would be if I used it as an advertisement. I have a dumb feeling that somebody would have done that roughly 80 years ago, but thankfully not ever since then. We've evolved as a human beings. Especially since I wanted to go to a medical school, my chances were even smaller.
On the bright side, afterwards you probably don't need to do a lot of advertisements because people knew already. They would come to you. No?
Bit too dark for my taste.
Why is that dark?
I'm not going to dissect your joke for you, Tifa.
That wasn't a joke, that was an actual statement.
The right people would have heard about their achievements. That's what Tifa is trying to say, I believe.
Yes.
I studied like crazy. My only driving force was my childhood dream of becoming a doctor. The dream of becoming a doctor to be looked up to by everyone kept me going. And I was admitted. I wasn't at the top of the list, but I made it in. I was finally at the starting point of making my childhood dream come true. My parents were thrilled. Neither my father nor mother went to college, so they were proud of their son getting into public medical school. They invited our relatives over to celebrate. Although it was a public university, tuition wasn't cheap, but they still had an extravagant celebration anyway. My father didn't express his emotions much. He always kept a straight face. He rarely voiced his opinion or took initiative on anything. My mother took care of everything, and he showed up last and left everyone. Mami, congrats on being first while I butcher my lines and try to do some mouth exercises. Ire has similar motivations to Keiichi for studying, wanting to be praised. I would go even deeper than that. A lot of guys have very similar motivations of just being shown any show of love from their parents. It's kind of like a red thread through the last couple decades. My mother took care of everything, and he showed up last and left without saying a word. He was the typical stern and silent Japanese father of the time. That's why I was surprised to see him shedding tears of joy, and I cried along with him. He went around to all my relatives while repeatedly slapping my back, saying how proud and lucky he was to have a son like me. He bragged about my achievements to all who would hear them. The celebration became my farewell party as I was about to leave for Tokyo. My father yelled "Banzai" repeatedly at the station as the train pulled away. I was a little embarrassed, but I could no longer see my father. I could clearly recall the tears pouring down. The days of hellish studying and exams began after that. Some days I was tempted to just give up and submit myself to the lavish lifestyle of the city. But the letters from my family always encouraged me and gave me the strength to go on. My dream then was to open my own clinic in my hometown so I could contribute to the region.
That's a nice dream, though.
I never even dreamed of getting involved with brains. One day I noticed a difference in a letter from my family. The letter said the usual things about how it was at home and asked how I was doing. But the postscript was what caught my attention. Your father has become really violent lately. Sometimes he turns the house upside down and I don't know what to do. I just couldn't picture him acting viciously. I was extremely surprised. Did something happen? But in the postscript my mother said that there was nothing she could think of. My mother and father had been together for a long time. They'd been together since well before I was born. So she noticed things that I couldn't. She couldn't even think of a reason why my father had become so violent. What happened? They got along so well. They were such a lovely couple. When I caused a problem for my mother when I was little, my father only bonked my head with his knuckle. That... Great, I guess.
What's wrong with that?
How is that intended? Like a bonk or as a... I think
My
like
father only bunked my head. You can take as a...
Like,
you wouldn't say it like that otherwise. Especially after we just had a 20-minute talk for what feels like about how he's not violent. And such a lovely guy.
Seems to be a common through line of masculinity here with most of the male characters. Yes.
It's the time.
And the 1960s to 1980s version of it.
Basically, yeah.
Acting like a man, gambling, I'm drinking beer. Sorry, I was channeling Ueshiba.
That was still a whole lot more common for them to also be the caretaker, expectations, blah 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 blah. It makes sense.
I guess. Why was he acting this way towards my mother? Maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding between them. I was going home for the New Year. Maybe I could have a good talk with him. But the situation was a lot more serious than I thought.
Guessing he got into brains because his father started acting like this because of a brain tumor or something, some growth pressing on his brain.
100% brain tumor.
Changing his behavior.
It is a really fucked up thing that, like, if you notice somebody seemingly act different, suddenly it can be a brain tumor. That's wild. That's just, I don't know, that fuck cancer. On one cold winter day, I found my apartment door unlocked. I thought someone had broke in, but I found my mother in my apartment with her luggage. That's right. My mother could no longer take my father's fury and came to stay with me. This was back when people still believed in the proverb, a woman has no place to settle down all her life. What? I don't get that one. She couldn't go back to her own family because they lived in the same region as my father, so she came all the way to Tokyo. I heard about my father's violence from my mother's own lips. She cried, saying she had no idea why such a quiet man changed like that.
Never heard of that proverb. Same. But he did say they used to believe in it, so I'm guessing it's a thing from like the 50s.
It has to be a Japanese proverb, yeah.
Probably along the line of married women become property of the new family, old-fashioned tradition. You go where your husband goes, I guess. Can't really go back. Yeah, that seems most likely.
She said she wasn't ever going back to him. I didn't know what to do. I asked her if she could talk to him one more time, but the bruises on her body told me it was no use. To remember what happened afterwards is too much, so I'll be brief. After my mother left, my father thought she was having an affair and went over to the neighbor's house with a wooden sword. He was arrested. He was released immediately, but he assumed someone in the neighborhood was hiding her, so he did the same thing repeatedly. He eventually reached the point of getting into fights with anyone he saw. In the end, he picked a fight with some young punks and ended up being beaten to death. My relatives gave my father a decent funeral, but my mother didn't attend. It's no use beating a dead horse. Did he just call his mother a dead horse? I apologize for that line. So nobody said anything negative about my father, but everyone was simply puzzled as to why he changed so much. I don't know why I said it either. Like, as I was like 80% through saying it, I realized it's not even funny. It was just the first thought that crossed my mind.
It's okay, I get it. Besides, it's also a saying, pulling on a dead horse.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's a saying in Dutch, at least.
Oh my god. The proverb literally is, it's no use beating a dead horse. That's literally the proverb.
Yeah, and you also have one that's pulling on a dead horse.
Why would you pull a dead horse? Of course you would pull a dead horse to put it away.
No, that's not. I think it's even in the wisdom command.
Tifa, do Dutch people think dead horses just randomly get up and perform a funeral for themselves?
Ah, shame. That's not what it's about.
Or folding.
No, folding we only do to deer.
Only to cute animals.
Are you saying horses aren't cute?
Yes. Fuck horses.
Wow, that's rude.
Can't even puke.
That's rude.
Pulling.
Pulling.
Mame, you are the other resident, basically Dutch person. You can sort this one out.
Aan een dood paard trekken. Trekken.
Yeah? What is that?
No, pulling works for that.
I think it's beating.
No.
Then what is it?
Trekken.
Translate.
Pulling. Now say your line before you call someone else's mom a dead horse.
My mom was What I heard from my relatives about my father's final days was a lot stranger than what I had heard from my mother. My mother only told me about his sudden rage and violence. But my relatives told me he also laughed and grew sad. Apparently he displayed several sudden fluctuations of emotion, especially in his last years. They also told me that he started to complain about headaches after an accident he had. My father was a construction worker. He had hit his head hard on a construction board during an accident at work. He regained his consciousness quickly and seemed fine. But since the accident, he started to have headaches and behave abnormally. I sensed the connection between the accident and my father's changes, so I talked to my professor after I went back to Tokyo.
I can't say for certain, but it sounds like it's possible your father suffered some kind of brain damage. There's a chance that the blow to his head caused an organic mental disorder. The symptoms your father showed in his final years are similar to the delirium and mental fluctuations we've often seen in similar patients.
Jack, don't fuck horses. What?
Jack!
I was saying my mother was a dead horse once. That's also not true, but fuck my mother, right? Doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, see, Tifa is just making up Dutch wisdoms as she goes. Like,
all wisdoms are made up.
Genuinely, I don't believe you should listen to it. There's an Uma Musume joke in here somewhere. That's the thing with the horses that are actually girls and they run, right? I think they also made a gacha game not too long ago that has blown up.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Apparently there's an anime that is not bad. We should watch that one. It's horse girls.
Sure.
Reminiscent of Phineas Gage, who got a piece of rebar shoved through his head and survived, but he became a huge asshole. That's fucked up too.
That sounds like a reasonable reason to become an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, if brain damage can do crazy things. Human behavior is created by the brain. And if a brain is damaged, it can cause erratic behavior. In other words, my father wasn't crazy, he was suffering from a disorder.
If you can perform an autopsy on him, you should check his brain carefully. Maybe you'll find something like a tumor there.
My father had already been cremated, so there was no way of knowing. But hearing about his behavior, I knew for sure. That was the only way to explain why such a quiet and gentle man would change. I tried to explain all of this to my relatives to regain my father's honor, but hardly anyone understood. If his brain was damaged, he would have been dead. But he was alive and well, so the accident didn't damage his brain. It wasn't his brain that caused him to change, it was his mind. They simply brushed it off like that. Sounds like a conversation with my dad. Oh, doctors have said this thing? No, I believe something else, and that must be the case. This is the perception most people have about the brain. They don't realize the mind and the brain are connected. Most of her relatives didn't believe me.
Exactly like Jack. No trekken aan een dood paard seems to be a real one. Of course it is. Would I lie to you about Dutch wisdoms?
Especially if you interrupt my line reading, yes you would.
Yeah, but this was important.
Mommy, could you translate that for us? And why would you not want to pull a dead horse?
Nobody pulls on a dead horse otherwise.
Of course! Again, how do you think the horse is being taken away from wherever it fell over and died?
This is about pulling on a horse with your dead hands, meaning you'll make no progress and you're not getting anywhere.
Do you mean with your dead hands?
Bare hands. You're just talking about removing a dead horse. That's something completely different.
Tifa's bullshit is making my nose itch like crazy for the last little bit. Of course, a horse. I realized what I said rhymed earlier, but presumably pulling a dead horse would be difficult to move altogether. Then you just need help. Literally pulling a dead horse, but the idiom's equivalent is flogging a dead horse. Thank you, Mommy, for understanding that not everything translates literally. An ability Tifa sorely lacks.
You're just too close-minded. You need to open your mind for these things.
Guess I have brain damage too.
Well, that's nothing new.
Die, fuck you. Most of her relatives didn't believe me, but there was one person who I really wanted to anyway. And that was my mother. As she got older, she grew senile and she exaggerated the abuse she had to endure. All she did was criticize my father. And every time she ended up crying, lamenting that she married him. They were a lovely couple. We were a great family. That's why I wanted to convey to her that she was misunderstanding the situation with my father. My father's behavior was caused by his brain damage. What he did to her was very sad, but he didn't want to be that way. I told her that it wasn't... I told her he wasn't at fault. But my mother didn't understand. Before she took her last breaths, I begged her to forgive my father. But her final words were,
Please don't bury me next to that man.
my father wasn't at fault. He was simply the victim of a brain disorder. You don't complain to a person who's coughing because he has a cold. I do actually. Yeah. I have brain damage. Mommy, apparently we're in a club. bro fist. Meow.
We all have some brain damage here.
Exaggerate? Brother Ire, did you forget the bruises? Well,
it depends on what you all said. If it's like he pushed me down the stairs, beat me into the hospital.
okay, but maybe he did all of these things and previously she didn't say it. It's not like Ire was there to see.
Yeah, sure.
You know? It's a similar issue we had, or I had with chapter 3 when we learned that Satoko apparently once faked a call to the Child Protective Services and told them some bullshit story. At that point, I don't know what's the truth anymore unless I'm in the room with you. Eventually we were able to clear that up with the information we got, but at that point in time, is Teppei actually abusing her or is he not? We do not know. Until we learn. But if somebody lies about it once, verifiably, there's a chance they might do it again. Or they might not. You don't know. You don't know.
Changing letters in the words for comedic effect didn't hit its mark. Changing letters in the word.
Oh my god.
Terrain damage.
I have brain back. Mommy, that is another reason why I say welcome to the club, because I have it so much I didn't even realize the typo.
Yeah, because your brain fills it in.
Yes, yes. Spoonerism immunity, I don't know what it is, but yes.
Same.
So would this make the Child Consultation Center right for not believing? No.
Because it's their job to investigate.
Exactly.
It's not their job to believe or not believe. It's their job to investigate on facts, and it makes the situation slightly different.
This, 100,000,000% this. It's one of the lines I came up with at work once that I have been using for over 15 years now that I'm proud of. I was sitting next to a colleague once and they were doing some contract stuff. And a customer asked them, hey, what's this clause? And they went, oh, I believe it's this. And when the customer was gone, I pulled them aside. I was like, you don't get paid to believe. You get paid to know. So, look it up. This is the same thing. The Child Consultation Center doesn't exist to believe, in my opinion. They exist to know. So it's their job to investigate. To understand, they have to base their things on previous knowledge? Yes. But it is their goal, or should be their goal, to go and verify. So what Tifa said, just with more words. You don't complain to a person who's coughing because he has a cold. Because coughing is just a symptom and he should be sympathized with. In my father's case, the symptoms weren't as obvious as a cough. They took the form of changes in personality, which are much harder to recognize. If I had studied the brain more, I could have explained it better to my mother so that she could have understood him. And they could have been a nice couple again in heaven. And I realized that I cried. I also realized that there are plenty of people like my father in this world who are suffering from a disorder, yet they are misunderstood and despised for it. What's the disorder where I say my intrusive thoughts and then they're not funny and it's more like people scratch their heads like...
Jackism.
And then I found it. I found out about a miraculous cure for such disorders called a lobotomy.
Well, that explains how he got into that.
I understand the personal stake of interest in this, but it's not a magical cure-all. Ever since that day, I spent my days learning about the brain so I could help people who were suffering from mental illnesses. My father is gone. But if he was still alive, I could cure him myself. So he and my mother could reconcile. That's the main reason why I am here. Okay, yep.
That's a sweet reason.
Again, I think his reasoning is really admirable and honorable and noble and sweet. It's the lack of understanding that makes me angry. It's like, sweet but misguided, yes. It's like,
but that was still at a time where lobotomy was okay. It wasn't until a bit later, I believe, that people started like, oh, this is This is not actually good.
What a nice guy who never does anything wrong, right, Tifa? Who said something similar not too long ago.
He's okay. Has the Shinto priest already contacted the institution?
No.
No. That still needs to happen. Rock candy as a treat.
We don't have rock candy.
Conflict between the Hojo, we got that. Self-introduction, we got both of those. The Hojo siblings.
Thank you, Tifa. I was gonna reload again. Actually, I wouldn't have. We haven't saved in a bit. You or me?
I think this is Satoshi.
Can you do the Satoko voice again? Just say
The
something.
Hojo family is well known.
The Hojo family is well known for going against the whole village during the dam conflict. Both her husband and the wife, however... No, that's not how he talks about it.
Fair, it's Rika. Both the husband and the wife were rather aggressive, and they fought a fierce battle, especially against the Sonosaki family. Although the whole village treated them coldly, the husband and wife didn't really care and kept on fighting. In a way, they were extremely strong-willed people. I'm sure their children had to go through a lot because of them, though. Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun were treated coldly by the villagers as well. In addition to that, Satoko-chan and her stepfather didn't get along, so their stress levels must have reached their limit.
Your Rika is bleeding into Takano.
I'm doing a normal voice now because this is also not Rika. Because I'm the director. Oh, we moved to Erie.
Oh my god, more Erie! Because I'm the director of a local clinic, a rather respected member of society, people usually tell me a lot of things. So I was aware of the treatment they were receiving even before I met them. I met Satoshi-kun first. Satoshi-kun came to the clinic because he felt ill from too much stress. He must have thought he had a cold. When I examined him, he even told me that. But hearing his repeated sighs and by seeing the exhausted look in his eyes, I knew right away it wasn't just a simple cold. Medication would heal his symptoms, but that'd only be a temporary measure. The only way to truly cure him would be to change his living environment. In order to do that, I performed a lobotomy on him. Damn, some chat in the streamer lurking in for Twitch drops just told a banger of a joke. Okay. A sperm donor, a carpenter, and Julius Caesars walk into a bar. He came, he saw, he conquered. Yeah.
I know it already, but it's still pretty good.
I have never heard that one before.
So far it triggers my nose again.
That, Mami, thank you for sharing. You know that feeling when you eat wasabi or Meerrettich,
No.
as we have in Germany? Yeah, you have done that before. You prick! Why are you being a monumentous asshole to me today? Tifa, from the bottom of my shriveled up soul, die fuck you. With both hands. Fuck all the way off. If you or anybody you know who's ever told you the story of how they had too much wasabi in their mouth once, or anything related to it like horseradish,
Dead or alive?
you will experience a sharp stinging pain going from your mouth straight to like the frontal part of your head. That's what I experienced reading the pun. 9 out of 10. It gave me wasabi mouth. You good?
What a comparison. Sure.
What's a comparison?
Comparison. No, comparison is a word.
Comparison.
Oh yeah.
You are a comparison.
It's because of the amount of wasabi.
Yes, apparently. What did I do to you today? Why are you treating me like this?
Well, you were quite mean to me in the beginning.
How? How was I mean to you? When? What did I do?
You just say your lines.
What a comparison. Yes, a comparison of riches. The only way to truly cure him would be to change his living environment. But That was easier said than done. He was surrounded by tangled and complicated relationships with the village and his family, so just resting for a few days and taking some medication wouldn't do. Time was the only thing that could ease off the cold treatment from the villagers, but we were talking a very, very long time. That's why I felt I had to be their very first ally in this village, so I could rescue them. I couldn't do anything about the stressful environment, but I could try to diminish the anxiety. So I thought the best way was to teach him how to vent his stress. And playing sports is the best way to do that. I thought becoming my mate is the best way of doing that, Irie. So I asked him to join the junior baseball team that I coach. As a researcher, I devote most of my time to Hinamizawa syndrome, but I too need to do something else to relax. I used to play baseball, so I decided to coach the local kids' team. After a while, the children of Hinamizawa started their own baseball team, and somehow I became their coach. Doctors can't provide health just by giving medication. You need a sound mind and a sound body. I believe health can be maintained through sports as well. But our team needed more people, so I thought of asking Satoshi-kun to join. Being a bookworm, Satoshi-kun wasn't interested in playing sports. He wasn't sure how joining the baseball team would help his situation. I didn't need to go on and on about athletic medicine to explain why sports help people become healthy. I just wanted him to experience it myself. So I just wanted him to experience it himself, to realize how great it feels to play sports. Here is where Satoshi got a baseball bat and how Keiichi killed his friends in chapter 1. True.
It all circles back.
I think he realized it gradually. He was reluctant until the very end, but he attended all of the team activities and games. As I saw Satoshi-kun slowly regain his liveliness, I realized my plan worked. However, if Satoshi-kun was under that much stress, then Satoko-chan, who lived in the same family climate, must have felt the same way. Unfortunately, I didn't think of her back then. So when Satoko-chan was carried into my clinic as a patient, I regretted doing nothing about her even while knowing the situation. As Satoshi-kun recovered under my guidance, Satoko-chan was left alone in her stressful environment. Also, around that time there was an incident bad enough to make Satoko-chan collapse. That was, of course, her parents' death. The day of Watanagashi festival was a very uncomfortable time for the Hojo family because, although it was a village festival, it was also a day to celebrate victory over the dam construction project. It's understandable that we would plan a family trip around that time so we could leave the village. Satoko-chan's parents fell off a cliff at the park they were visiting. It happened on such an unlucky day. Because it happened on the day of Watanagashi, people said it was the curse of oyashiro-sama. And people labeled the Hojo family as one that was cursed by oyashiro-sama. Parents were given the cold shoulder by everyone in the village. Except Oyashiro. So with their parents gone, Satoshi and Satoko should have been freed from that, but unfortunately the accident happened on the day of Watanagashi. That's why the members of the Hojo family continued to be shunned. Satoko-chan was the only one that was at the site of the accident. Satoshi-kun didn't go on the trip because he had an event with a baseball team. Therefore, the police mainly interrogated her. The detective, Ooishi, suspected an act of organized crime by the village, so with Satoko-chan as the only witness on site, he drilled her with questions. She was as stressed as Satoshi-kun, perhaps even more, so of course she couldn't take it. During the interrogation, she began to wheeze and gasp for air. The anguished look I saw on Satoko-chan's face when she was carried into the clinic was very, very tragic. It broke my heart just to imagine what she had to go through. Coach, is Satoko okay? Yes, don't worry. She's a bit confused, but only temporarily. That's all.
I think your Satoshi voice changes every time you voice him, but I cannot recall how you voice him.
Similar to Satoko because they're siblings. May I see her? She finally fell asleep. So I'd rather not wake her up just yet. Let's just let her rest for a while. Maybe it's a good idea to have her stay here for a few days too. Don't worry. I'll take good care of her. Thank you. I know Satoshi-kun is a great big brother who truly cares about his sister. He empathizes deeply with her. In other words, Satoshi-kun's worries and stress were reflecting Satoko-chan herself. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but while Satoshi-kun was, of course, sad about his parents' death, he may, at the same time, have been a little relieved that they were gone. His sister wouldn't have been driven into a corner anymore. Unlike Satoshi-kun, Satoko-chan didn't have the social skills to get along with her stepfather. So, putting her mother aside, I was certain that losing her father, the greatest cause of stress in her life, would bring great change to her home environment. That's macabre, but I agree with him. It's the worst possible way to change the situation, but it is a change of the situation nonetheless.
It sucks, but you're better off.
Silver lining, I guess. But I couldn't believe what happened next. The two were sent to live in an even worse environment with her aunt and uncle. Although at the time I was rather optimistic, thinking this new environment would be better for the siblings. Yeah, no it wasn't. Teppei still my least favorite character, I believe.
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny how the Hojo family is so diverse with my emotions. Satoko, best character. Teppei, worst character. Here, Tifa, have a mouse. Get us another fragment, please.
Let's see where we are.
We don't have a part-time job yet.
Ryugu move we haven't had.
Nope.
Red cat, strawberry milk candy. We do have that.
Neon Sonozaki. If this is another Irie chapter, I'm gonna cry.
Mion-san! Your friend is here! I heard the housekeeper's voice. Our house and the front yard are huge, so unlike normal houses, ringing a doorbell or yelling my name repeatedly, asking to play won't work. Well, that went so slow, or was that just me? It felt like the text was lagging.
It's almost like you're supposed to read it a certain way. Our house and the front yard are huge, so unlike normal houses, ringing a doorbell or yelling my name repeatedly asking to play won't work.
Oh, then they gotta put it in caps.
So I think moving out of Hinamizawa and being sent to an orphanage would have been a better situation, but Hinamizawa syndrome would have made it worse.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have known that. But unfortunately in this case, an orphanage is the very last resort. As long as you have living family members, that doesn't happen. But also on the other hand, fortunately, because orphanages, especially back in the day, didn't really have a good reputation and it might have ended up worse. Not even considering the Hinamizawa syndrome.
Hot take, I think the answer has been put in front of our faces multiple times. Hinamizawa syndrome doesn't really exist at that level anymore. How often have they told us that Hinamizawa syndrome the parasite used to be really strong, it used to be a really big deal, but over the hundreds of years ever since the pathogen has occurred, it has weakened significantly to the point where it isn't an issue anymore.
Yeah, but to someone who's already going through the symptoms, and then also moving away is an extra trigger.
A potential one.
Yeah, potentially, but still a higher chance than just going on a vacation and moving away.
Maybe.
Okay, thank you. Who is it? Rika Furude-chama! Oh, finally! Can you tell Granny that Rika-chama is here? Oh, I think she's on the porch. I'll get the watermelon. Oh, here's the watermelon scene. We needed that for another one.
Are they gonna have a watermelon seed spitting contest? That'd be really cute. Like Oreo, Neon, and Rika.
Granny received many beautiful watermelons from somebody, so she wanted to share. I just called the Furude house a short time ago and Rika-chan is here to pick one up. Did she come on her bicycle? I can't remember if it has a big enough basket.
Like in Yoshi's Island, exactly, like in the
Yes.
mini games. So cute.
I pulled the watermelon from the well while thinking about that. The cold water in the well has refrigerated the watermelon, and the condensation makes it look delicious.
Cold watermelon on a hot summer day. I don't like watermelon, but that is divine. Sorry, I don't care for watermelon usually, but in moments like these, yes. One of the things you can't really improve upon.
I don't go out of my way to buy watermelon, but it's delicious.
Probably would have become another Takano situation, I guess, if I went to an orphanage. Probably, yeah.
Chances there, yeah. The 3 members of the Furude family will enjoy it for at least 2 nights.
3 members.
Maybe. They're still alive.
Oh, Furude, I was thinking Sonozaki, sorry.
Am I supposed to take it home? I thought... What? Didn't your dad tell you? The priest answered the phone and thought I told him to pick it up. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. Or maybe he misunderstood me completely. But she's here to eat the watermelon, not to take it home. Besides, the small basket on Rika-chan's bicycle won't hold the melted watermelon. And it's too dangerous for her to ride while holding it in her hands.
The mortar well.
That's what you get when you're not Dutch. Mian, why don't you help Rika-chan take the watermelon? There's no way she can ride her bicycle while carrying it. Beep. I can hold the watermelon. No, that's too dangerous. If something happened to you, I wouldn't know what to say to Oyashiro-sama. Mian will help you. Okay, I will. I'll go say hello to the priest too.
Aw, Rika being all flustered.
No matter whether she rides or pushes her bicycle, Rika-chan's hands will be occupied. So I'm going to carry the watermelon. The sky is turning auburn in the sunset. The cool breeze feels good on my sandaled feet. The plastic bag I'm carrying contains the watermelon and also some small bags of rock candy. If her mother finds them, she'll take them away, so we decided to eat them before we get to her home. We opened the bags and enjoyed the rock candy.
Ha, we unlocked rock candy.
Rika-chan isn't an exception. Whenever kids from our neighborhood came to our house for errands, Granny gave them some treats.
No.
Errands.
There's a couple words that Tifa pronounces in ways that are alien to me. One, where I had to catch myself multiple times earlier, is when Tifa says, 1 woman, 2 woman. Not women, it's always woman with her. But also, Aran is the last name of a character from Metroid, Samus Aran, and I believe also a Scottish last name that's been around for hundreds of years.
Oh, it could be.
The word you were looking for, Tifa, is 1 errand, or 2 or multiple errands.
That's totally what I said. An errand.
Aaron, also a first name, and a Pokemon.
True. Actually, that's a pretty common rule here in Hinamizawa. It's funny, but sometimes when parents aren't watching, siblings will fight over who gets to take the circular notice to the next house over. So these bags of rock candy are like tips for them. Of course, she doesn't normally give out this much.
But this is Rika.
Usually it's just a little piece of it. Granny's being extra nice to Rika-chan. I feel bad getting all this candy. Don't worry. Granny loves you. You should just thank her and put a big smile on your face, that's all.
Nipa!
No, Tifa. Eren is a character from Attack on Titan, that is true. You kinda smell like a baka.
If you don't know what the fuck you just watched, please, at your earliest convenience, go to YouTube and look up You Smell Like a Baka. Rent free in my brain ever since I first seen it. Rent fucking free.
At random moments in the town too, it's like...
He was
kinda
like,
smell?
do you smell this, Jack? Like, kinda smell like a baka. Look it up. It's so good. I can explain to you why exactly. I don't know why what exactly it is or does that makes me have this, like, the fuck looked up. You're welcome, Ruben. Please enjoy.
I'll post a link to it on Discord later too. I'm not even sure when we've seen it. Must have been a long time ago. But it has not.
A year or two ago?
It could be. But it comes back at least once a month for some reason. Do you get lots of treats? I used to. But at this age, they don't give me any. If they did though, I would probably feel like I was being treated like a little kid.
You can always give me treats.
Basically. Beep. I'm being treated like a child then. That's okay. Enjoy it while you can. When you become as old as me, you won't get any, even if you wanted some. That's why you just take it.
That line is so true.
As we talked about ordinary things, I noticed Rika-chan seemed a little sad. What's wrong? Whenever I run errands, I get
Fuck
candy
you.
as a treat.
No.
What? I said it right now.
No, Tifa, you said
Errands. It's errands.
Okay, once more and then we carry on whatever it is.
We just had this conversation.
You did the worst of both ways. Errands! As an adult, you can buy all the candy you want and no one can stop you. That is 100% true.
That is also true.
And that's why I don't. Because I will eat all of it.
Appreciate the Joker. One Piece live action made me realize Higurashi can definitely work as a solid live action series.
It could, if it was done well.
Yeah, there's nothing... I wouldn't even compare it to One Piece. There's nothing in here that would need a lot of CGI or anything.
Not if you do it well. But they would fuck it up with too much CGI. Unnecessarily.
Honor the Joker, Jack. Yeah, but I still gotta do the line because I didn't finish it. Whenever I run errands, I get candy as a treat. But Satoko doesn't get any, even if she comes with me. I said it right now. No? Oh. I can think of so many reasons why. Not only Satoko, but everyone in the Hojo family is being treated poorly in Hinamizawa. And the Sonozaki family are the ones who instigated that. The 2 dam supporters have died in an accident already. But the malice against the Hojo family is still going. It's directed against Satoko and Satoshi, their children, and the aunt and uncle who are taking care of them.
To be fair, the aunt and uncle deserve it.
They deserve it. The big fight between the Hojo family and the Sonozaki family at the explanatory meeting started all this. But that was the Hojo couple, and it shouldn't have anything to do with the children and their aunt and uncle.
That's also true.
But the idea that the Hojo family are traitors evolved on its own, and therefore anyone bearing the Hojo name is to be treated poorly. The aunt and uncle weren't dam supporters, so over time the attacks towards them should have stopped. But they're rather odd, and they keep having trouble with their neighbors. They don't follow the community rules, they don't do their community duties, and they spray pesticide while their neighbor's laundry is still hanging outside. Yeah, because they're assholes.
Yes.
Oh, that's what I mean. If One Piece, the most over-the-top series, can work in live action, surely Higurashi can. Yeah, fair.
Counterpoint. Look at what they did to The Witcher. I'm pretty sure if Netflix would get their hands on Higurashi, there's a good chance they would hire some of the hacks that go, oh, I know better than the multi-million best-selling franchise author. And then they go completely off into left field.
They often get into fights with the other villagers. They'd be hated even without the dam. Therefore, the Hojo family continues to be treated poorly. I'm actually surprised there isn't already at least Korean or Japanese for live action.
There is Higurashi live action movies. Dark Lord posted a link to one of them a while ago.
Oh, sure.
I
Well,
think
then at least there's something.
In the movies channel on Discord, one of the chapters was made into a movie, and it's not great. I think it was chapter 5.
Oh, fair enough. Well,
These people can't write for shit themselves and want to piggyback off popular work. Yes, and then they have a goal to go, I know better than the author, let me make some changes.
still, haven't seen it. Will not see it.
There is one for Onikakushi and one for chapter 5. Thank you, Dark Lord. See, it's been done.
Just not a mainstream version, I guess. But none of that should have anything to do with Satoko and Satoshi. Satoko and Satoshi are often depressed at school. I tried to leave the conflict between the two families aside, but I wonder how they really feel about it. From their point of view, I'm just another member of the family that keeps harassing them. I don't want any of that at school. That's why I try to be their friend while we're there.
But only while we're there. You hypocritic. I get it though. It's hard to swim against the current like that.
Haven't seen The Witcher, but I did hear about the tragedy of not sticking with the source material. Feel bad for Henry Cavill, who was a big fan of the source. That role was like a dream. Was like a dream come true for him.
I didn't care for Henry Cavill until I started watching The Witcher. And then I learned about what they did with the source material, changing it. And eventually it got so much that they had a big fight and Henry Cavill left because he was told that they would make a show about the source material. And then they kept deviating and I was like, well, fuck you then. And I loved him ever since.
Season 1 was so good though.
I think I like season 1 the best. Even though they made some weird choices. Season 2 is still good.
Season 2 is still good.
How many is he in? 2 or 3?
I believe 2, and in 3 he gets replaced.
I haven't seen the one where he got replaced.
Same. I also won't. How can we get that to extend outside too, instead of staying in the school? That'd be pretty difficult. The Hojo family made enemies of the 3 families.
No, the 3 families made enemies of the Hojos. Get your facts straight, people. Also, welcome in Lambda. Happy Sunday. How you doing?
Everything he said. Hope you're doing well.
They hate us. No, you hated them.
Are you on connecting the fragment parts?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
We
have done like 15,
no,
maybe?
more like 10.
What? Well, it seemed like more.
Did like 7 on Friday and this is like the 3rd or 4th one.
No, we're not that far in, but yes, we are.
Never seen a role where Henry Cavill wasn't screwed over. He could have been greater as a Superman. Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder, right?
I didn't even want to like the next Superman where they had the Superman from Temu guy. But we saw it a while ago and I gotta say, it wasn't even bad.
Listen, before I saw the movie, I would have agreed with you. After seeing it, I think he did amazing. And for the tone they went with, I think they got the right guy.
Yeah, I agree, but still, they did him a dishonor.
I don't like the DC movies generally, because usually they're not made great. And I love Henry Cavill, but I forgot his name. David Cornsworth, I think. The dude in the new Superman movie. I think he did amazing.
Yeah, he did really good. Also, Henry Cavill has so bad luck, because I believe he now also got injured during filming of Highlander, which is delaying it. I think the Warhammer movie is slightly delayed, or the Warhammer series he's working on is also slightly delayed. I hope things go better for him soon.
I have a complete guide made by me for this part to connect the fragments in chronological order. Do you want it?
Oh, that is really cool. But I prefer not to, just to figure it out ourselves. If we do get stuck, that will get interesting. Even though I think so far it's relatively okay for us to not get stuck yet. I think that will get worse at a later point. Oh, but that is really cool. Thank you for the offer as well.
I can only tell you that we broke chronological order I don't know if that matters to the outcome of a game, in which case, if it does, it's too late. That's very sweet, thank you. I think I'm with Tifa on this one. It wouldn't be our chaos if we used the guide at this point.
But true, I was actually thinking we're still sort of in order, but
we can't be because Satoko's parents already died.
Yeah, exactly.
And we
didn't go into that
didn't
yet.
get to the part where that happened. If there's a fragment for that.
I assume that is going to be a fragment.
It would make sense.
They were branded as traitors, and that's still considered the truth. It wouldn't mean anything if one person suggested an end to the hostilities just because the events around the dam are history now.
Except when Keiichi does it later.
On the contrary, that would just put them in the same position.
And not if you have enough willpower.
Unfortunately for Satoko and Satoshi, the only thing they can do is to wait patiently until the issue withers away. All I can do for them is provide an oasis until that day comes. So, how long do they have to wait? I don't know. The dam conflict lasted for several years. They were branded back then, so it might take years to clear up too. Do you mean they won't be forgiven until they become adults? Will Satoko have to live out her childhood going through that? That's pretty miserable, isn't it?
Yeah, all of you should have done something about this way sooner, like realizing the child isn't responsible for their parents' actions.
Me? We are their friends, aren't we? Sure, they're my friends. We're all buddies.
Here it is in case you need it. You can't post links. Sorry. Thank you, but it doesn't work. We disabled that. Lambda tried to give us the link.
Oh. Yeah, we get a lot of spam messages that have links with it, so we blocked all links in chat.
An unfortunate precaution. Anyway, doing Higurashi live action, I think the most difficult part adapting would be the deep exploration of a character's mental stage, which is all in writing. Yeah, you would need a director and cast that is able to portray that without it all being narration, I think.
You can film it a bit like in You, the series.
I think it would need some extra narration to get all the words across, but also because video is a visual medium, to also like show like in chapter 1, to show the mental deterioration of Keiichi. I think you would definitely need like directors who are versed in horror movies.
Fair. Then, isn't there something we can do to help ourselves? But I feel like
help ourselves
to help our friends. But I feel like more complicated things have been made into movies and series, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, and badly. And can we have a whole line?
Then, isn't there something we can do to help our friends? What exactly can we do? Even if the Sonozaki family declares that the dam conflict is over, so the Hojo family are no longer outcasts, that won't solve the problem. It's not that simple.
It would help. It would start.
In the first place, Granny hates the Hojo family and won't suffer their name to be mentioned in her presence.
Just choke her.
It's not a matter of someone forgiving another. It's a matter of very complicated ties between the family and between the people in the village. It's absolutely terrifying to have them as your enemies. Everyone knows that very well, and that's why they maintain good relationship with their neighbors. However, if you make enemies out of them, you'll have to face the consequences. That's the unwritten law of the Japanese community. And the Sonozaki family is a part of this unwritten law. Now that the Hojo family are outcasts, not even the Sonozaki family can overturn the situation.
You could try.
And as we have learned, it can.
It can be done, yeah. Two Higurashi films are TV films made on a TV film budget. They've started making Umineko into stage plays.
Okay.
Okay. That's... How long are the stage plays? I would imagine that takes hours.
Might need to cut a couple things. So, even if it's an issue of Hinamizawa, we can't do anything about it as Hinamizawa residents. Unfortunately, that's probably so, yeah. If there's someone who can help Satoko, that person must be someone who has nothing to do with the village. But there's no one like that here.
That's such a cop-out. It only worked with Keiichi because he isn't from here.
Are you saying someone from the outside has to come help her? Like Rika-chan says, would a knight in shining armor from the outside world ever come here? Would that person bring in a new wind into this village that has been filled with still air for hundreds of years? No way. That's just wishful thinking. Time will solve the problem someday. Until then, I have to be their ally. I can't think of anything else I can do for them. As Rika-chan and I crunched on our rock candy, we can only pray that people will forgive Satoko and her family sooner rather than later. Rika-chan gently broke that heavy silence. I know. Eh? I know someone who has absolutely nothing to do with the village will come here from the outside. That's right. The dam conflict is over, so it'd be great if more people moved in to these lots that are for sale. Wouldn't it be fun if a family with a kid our age moved in? He will come. I know. And we'll break this evil practice alongside him. That will be the first key to one of the 3 locks that have us trapped in the past.
3 locks? Okay, so we whittled it, or we narrowed it down to 3 particular things that need to happen.
Huh? What's this? Are you talking about a novel or something? Rika-chan says some odd things sometimes. When she talks that way, she seems so mature. I even start to doubt she's really younger than I am. The unreasonable antagonism towards the Hojo family. Will there really be someone from the outside who will shatter our old traditions?
Damn, Keiichi is becoming a prophesized legend. You know it.
It has been foretold.
5-told even. Go, Tifa. Get us a fragment.
Oh, a watermelon from the Sonozaki family, but I thought it also said something about rock candy in one of them. Let's go back to the beginning. Test results, dissection, curse, specimen. No, actually, yes, we can do this one.
Has Satoko Hojo been hospitalized yet?
Yeah, in the Hojo sibling scene. Remember, she had to stay there for a few days while Satoshi checked up on her with Irie?
Oh, true, yeah. Satoshi-kun is a good brother who takes great care of his sister. He went to visit Satoko-chan straight after school and kept encouraging her to get better every day. Without even hearing Satoshi-kun's stories, it's obvious to me that Satoko-chan never had a good relationship with her step-parents. She especially didn't get along with her stepfather. Satoko-chan even called a child abuse hotline once. Not only that, her parents ended up dying in an accident, so she just wasn't able to withstand all of that damage. Sadako-chan is still very young, so everything must have been horrible for her to go through. Unfortunately, she has a wonderful brother. Emotional wounds are hard to heal. Nothing heals those wounds better than love from family members. I'm sure that one day Satoko-chan will be able to smile again. She's still in shock, but when she talks to Satoshi-kun, she smiles a little bit. Oishi from the police department keeps requesting to see her, but I think I need to protect her for just a little longer. While he's passionate about his job, I wish he'd be a touch more sensitive. If he reminds her of her parents' accident, her emotional wounds will start to open again. That's one point I worry about with Satoko-chan. I heard someone knocking on the door. It was Takano-san. Doesn't look right wearing a nurse's uniform like that. She's a licensed doctor, so she should wear a white coat and act like one. Maybe this is fun for her, but I think she might be insulting the real nurses. I didn't say anything though. How is dressing like this insulting the other nurses? I don't get that part. It's like Keiichi is the one. Don't know why, but that part gave me chills when I first saw it in the anime. I don't know.
Well, it's because Rika already knows, of course. The very first time. He wouldn't have been yet. But after 100 years.
I mean, true, you have the fact that she knows things. It's not a prophecy, it's she knows. She literally knows at some point. I wonder if we get an answer to how much is Keiichi is the chosen one of fate, or rather it's all just what people believe. Because these people are so stuck up their own asses that they go, oh well, I can't be the first one to be nice to the Hojos, that's against the rules of a village. And Keiichi comes in and is like, I don't care. He just does it. And then he eventually, chapter 7, goes, talks to the right people about it, like, this is bullshit, we need to stop doing this. When he flips their words of community and all that against them and solves the situation in a way. But I have a feeling if they weren't all busy huffing their own farts, they could have come to the same conclusion. Like Shion and Rika did while eating rock candy. Like, should we do something? I don't think it's fate. Keiichi just happens to be the one to call it out. Yeah. He just happens to be there at the right moment and he is proactive about it. Because he isn't bogged down by all the expectations and the generational hate that's placed upon him.
It helps to have not been grown up in a community like this.
Yeah.
Dr. Yuri, may I talk to you?
Oh, yes. Well, Satoshi-kun, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, sure.
Hello, Satoshi-kun. Please keep Satoko-chan company. She's always alone, so I bet she's lonely. Okay?
What a nice thing to say.
Oh no, that's not true.
Okay, Satoshi-kun, you're in charge. I get up and let Satoshi-kun take over. Did something happen?
Not right here. Let's go to your office.
Takano-san smiled meaningfully. Usually, smiles bring happy feelings, but when it comes to Takano-san, that's rarely the case. Are you sure?
Yes. The initial test results show there's a possibility she's at L3 or above. We need to keep her here and run some more tests. The results aren't in yet, but from what I can see, it's very possible that she's at L4.
Takano-san's eyes sparkled in a weird way. There's a reason for that. For us, finding patients in the terminal stage is a valuable boon to our research. In fact, as a result of dissecting the murder suspect from last year, we've made great progress in our research. In other words, we finally managed to isolate the pathogen. Fuck yeah, new guinea pig! Exactly. And I would like to remind everybody that I told you from the beginning that Takano is evil and deserves to be kicked to the curb. And who has been a Takano fan ever since the beginning?
I could resonate with Takano's love for taboos and fascination.
Took 6 arcs to get this Keiichi who perfectly calls it out in a way to be received. True. Chapter 3 Keiichi would have just lashed out and done nothing to get allies on his side. Also true. She's very creepy, always has been. Yes! Yes! And not in the good way.
I thought it was in a good way.
She's way off on the crazy to hotness scale. And not in a good way. We've also discovered that when a host dies, the pathogen melts away within a few hours. And once that happens, it's undetectable. That's why we never found the pathogen when we performed autopsies. Also, Iria is kinda alright though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Call Me Mame F18, Mamef18 is a Tifa alt account. Tifa, are you typing with your feet?
Stick to it.
No, Irie is not kind of alright. Well, in my book, anyway.
He stopped with lobotomy, didn't he?
Because it became taboo. Not because it was a wrong thing to do.
Well, a lot of medical advances we have because someone decided something.
No. Can confirm, empty for feet. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No.
As of right now, Irie is still alright.
I have a question though. Earlier in this wonderful chapter, when the old people were talking, they discussed the life cycle of a parasite. What is the goal of a pathogen? Like evolutionary. How does it spread?
I'm sure there's a thingy
propagate?
for that. I think I shall scrap you harder next time, Mommy.
Wait. Mommy, kind of smell like baka. Thank you for bringing that back. Look, it's a cute perla bead growler that I used to refocus the camera on our faces.
Irie is less evil. I will take that as alright.
He touches children. He is not.
He doesn't touch children that way.
Tifa, do I need to remind you of? Oh, you got such smooth skin, Keiichi.
So?
No.
I think going with the flow and not speaking up makes you just as bad. That's how we've treated the other villagers who didn't want to rock the boats. Irie can't be treated differently. Yeah, that is also very true. I mean, some of the other villagers are also crap, but I feel like they're worse than Irie is of now.
Different. I still wouldn't want him around.
It's only because you know more of Irie.
Yeah. If it was just, haha, I want a harem of maids. That, okay, cool. Who doesn't, right? But the moment he touches the kids, it's like, nah. He's on the flight lists too, trust me. Our research made a lot of progress after that. What we found in this past year has easily surpassed what the late Dr. Takano found in decades. We're now studying the nature, the effect and the symptoms of a pathogen as well as the treatment and vaccines. In other words, a living specimen who's at the terminal stage is a necessity for our research. However, we rarely find a patient who's gone that far, who's reached L5. Hinamizawa syndrome once created huge numbers of L5 patients, but today it doesn't have such potency. And because of that, we have to secure L5 patients, or patients who are close to reaching L5, as quickly as possible. Satoko-chan possibly qualifies to be that next sacrifice. Sacrifice! To keep this strange disease a secret, we can't let patients who may be at L5 go. We have to run more tests first, and we'll figure out what to do next. In any case, Satoko-chan seems so calm. Her behavior is nothing like the man from last year. Initial tests are in error sometimes. We'll have to wait for the results of more detailed tests to determine how serious her condition is.
Okay.
Let's admit her for observation. Please let the staff know how to. Please let the staff know to get things ready. It sounds like a formal answer, but if the results come back positive, that will be the green light for her dissection. I don't know Satoko-chan that well, but I've known her brother Satoshi-kun through the baseball team for a long time. How could I dissect the apple of Satoshi-kun's eyes? I can feel scary images flashing in my head for the first time.
Don't worry. Everything is already taken care of.
She smiled as if telling me that the dissection is already being prepared for too. Is it just her who's smiling? Am I smiling like her too? When I dissected that man last year, I did feel guilt beforehand, but once I started, it was like I was in paradise. All the pieces of a puzzle that were left by the late Dr. Takano fell into place, and at the same time they didn't. How exciting it was! Knowing that we were the first ones to take the first step to solve a mystery, that is. I don't don't even know how to explain this feeling to those who have never experienced it. There's no way to describe it with words. The only thing I can say is that even a year later, I still remember it vividly. So, if the results show that Satoshi-kun's beloved sister is to be dissected, can I control myself? Can I stay calm? But that means I'm a failure of a human being. I know very well that the Hojo family was treated poorly by the villagers, and I know what Satoko-chan had to go through. Also, I know Satoshi-kun loves his sister, who is his one and only blood relative. How can I dissect Satoko-chan using my research as an excuse? I didn't feel much guilt for the man from last year, but I feel unbearable guilt towards Satoko-chan. That means what I did last year was very sinful. I don't care if a stranger dies, but I don't want Satoko-chan to die. That's not right. All lives are equally precious. I tried to convince myself that he was a violent murderer, but maybe he only became that way because he was at the terminal stage. Yeah, where did your empathy for your father go, huh?
He did have empathy for his father.
Yeah. Now, re-enter the stage. And where did it go when he was dissecting somebody who was likely going through the same thing? Something ailing them to make them act like this.
It's always different when the person isn't close to you.
Ah, so all of your fancy words didn't mean that much in the end, now did they? Not
Well,
you, Eerie.
Plus, he was a terminal patient.
For science!
Exactly.
So real, we tend to lack empathy for people we don't know have any attachment to. Yes, that's why usually surgeons and doctors aren't allowed to treat their own family members or people they have a relationship with. For exactly that reason.
It's easier to shut things off if it's no one you know.
Yes. As a surgeon, you need to be a machine. You need to perform the procedure. No, nothing clouding your judgment. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him before he became deranged. Maybe he was a model citizen who was worthy of respect. Unfortunately, he became ill and ended up doing what he did. Maybe he was a victim himself. Just like my father. Yes, exactly! I know more about Hinamizawa syndrome than anybody. This disease makes people act in bizarre ways without those people realizing it. So when people at the terminal stage do such strange and violent things, one should be sympathetic. I already knew that back when I decided to go down this path. I should have remembered it sooner, but I only did just now. I finally realized what sinful research I'm working on. Will you stop twisting, please? Thank you. Tifa doing well. Satoko Hojo's detailed test results came back. The results say L5. She's at the terminal stage of a terminal stage. It's actually a surprising result. In last year's case, the patient was extremely deranged. According to Takano-san's records, he complained about itching coming from the lymph nodes all over his body and wanted to claw at his throat, just as the late Dr. Takano mentioned. But Satoko-chan isn't displaying such symptoms. Even in the late Takano's data, throat clawing is said to be a characteristic symptom of terminal stage patients. However, not all patients experience that symptom. Besides, emotional expression is very different in each person. Even if it's the same emotion, one patient may express it rather violently and another may express it calmly. There's no way of knowing by just looking at a person. But Satoko-chan's detailed test results say that she's at the terminal stage of the terminal stage, L5. Can you stop making me say terminal stage of the terminal stage? If it's beyond terminal, how can it be terminal?
He's just rationalizing his actions.
Yes.
Yeah, but it makes sense. But it also shows that he is more human still than Takano.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, because he's thinking about things he's doing and the consequences, and Takano all sees it as a mean to continue the research and reach her goal of becoming God.
We don't know that.
100%.
We don't know if Takano ever has these thoughts.
I do not think so. But we might still learn.
I doubt it too, but unless we are put into the position of seeing the story through her eyes again, we don't know.
I think for now we've seen enough to assume that's the case.
Blame God. And have words, she may be feeling what the man from last year was feeling. It's just that she isn't expressing that feeling in the same way the man was. Hinamizawa syndrome affects the frontal lobes of her brain. It stimulates the most primitive of emotions, doubt, very strongly. As a result, terminal patients are trapped in delusions and paranoia and end up committing horrible crimes. Satoko-chan seems to show improvement when she's exchanging friendly words with Satoshi-kun. But there's a paranoia stirring inside her that may put her in a deranged stage at any moment. I can't let her leave the clinic like this. However, if things go according to the manual, I will have to make a decision on her dissection. My decision will only be a formality. I can't actually refuse. Takano-san appears to be already working on the dissection schedule. That plan will then come to me. But I feel the same way. While dissecting Satoko-chan, would I be able to experience that trance once again? No, the question is, can I fight the temptation? As I pretended to question myself and made Takano-san prepare things on her own. By doing so, I'm passively agreeing to Satoko-chan's dissection. By doing so, am I passively agreeing to Satoko-chan's dissection? If possible, I want to save Satoko-chan. I don't want her to be a sacrifice for this research. I don't want to dissect her. Then what about the man from last year? Do I only care about the lives of the people I know? If I don't dissect her, do I let her live and leave the clinic? Do I simply wait for her to become deranged and commit a horrible crime? And then she'll end up here just like the man from last year, and I'll end up dissecting her anyway. The man from last year was dissected alive and kept that way for several months. With his skull left open, he wasn't allowed to die for several months. He was kept alive just for our cruel experiments.
I'm surprised I managed to keep him alive.
I don't want to do that to her. I don't know what to do. Even debating and agonizing it over this leading towards consent to a dissection by elimination. Well, they just have to keep you breathing and put fluids and nutrition in your body.
Yeah, but if you keep it open, there's a higher chance of infections and all that.
Sterile environment. Honestly, in chapter 1, did you think we'd get into ethics of medical science? No. No. I also didn't think we would have time loops.
Cannot say that was the case.
Okay.
Let's do one last one. Not that one.
Well, I'll give you the mouse back then. For science! YOLO! How do I say this? I believe for moments like these, where it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario, you need people like Irie. You need somebody who is willing to do these things, to dehumanize themselves to a point where they are willing to go with it for science. Do I want to be that person? No. Do I agree with those people? Probably not. Dark Lord, thank you for the gift sub. That's very sweet of you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
Love.
it. Love.
Suffering of a Big Brother.
Oh.
You're welcome, Tifa.
Thank you very much.
Please tell me that's not me. I don't want to do more of Eerie voice.
High chance it's Satoshi, I think.
A group of boys are playing baseball under the powerful sun.
Just keep going.
I'll do Satoshi. Can you give me a few words of Satoko?
A group of boys are playing baseball.
A group of boys are playing baseball under the powerful sun. The sound of cicadas makes the heat stand out even more, but to those boys it's just another kind of cheering from the crowds. Of course, they go through training exercises to build stamina. The boys don't actually like such routine activities. What they look forward to the most is the free game after breakfast.
It's eerie.
After practice. The school in Hinamizawa was actually borrowed from the forestry service. The schoolyard is made of gravel, so it's not very appropriate for playing sports on. Compared to that, the grounds at the school in Okonomiya are properly maintained for athletic activities, so the kids grow even more energetic when they come here. Yay, not gravel! Okay, Kids from Hinamizawa really don't care if the ground is made of gravel or not. The other instructor is watching the game, so I decided to get some drinks for the team. Coach, where are you going? I thought I'd go get some drinks for everyone. Do you mind helping me, Satoshi-kun? Lucky number 7. A lot of eerie in these fragments, huh?
Yeah.
To be fair,
Especially in the beginning of things, it makes sense to see him more.
yeah, and we don't really know much about him.
Yeah.
I mean, we know of him, but we don't know the nitty-gritty meat on the bone.
I expected to have seen more...
Ooishi?
No, Takano as well at this point.
She had the beginning 3 episodes, Tito.
Yeah, but in the fragments, I mean.
I think that might still come. Then again, no complaint, not really complaints for me, because my Irie voice is just a lower register. Whereas, if I had to do Oishi-san the entire time, that would be getting to my throat at some point, because, you know... There isn't much difference, but there's enough for my throat to get overworked, my vocal cords. Oh no, not at all. I gave that the wrong energy. Oh no, not at all. Satoshi-kun decided to come along with me.
It was the same energy.
Tifa, I think there's some mochi wrapped around the... Fuck you! Sometimes kids don't like what grown-ups choose, so I'm glad he agreed to help. Satoshi-kun and I got in the car and headed to the grocery store nearby. Manager? How's Satoko doing? Well, she's doing fine. Although it's an extremely slow process, her emotional wounds are healing. I think we should let her rest for a little while longer. It's natural for Satoshi-kun to be worried. Satoko-chan has been in the hospital for over 2 weeks. Of course, he doesn't know her sister has Hinamizawa syndrome, but only that she's almost at L5. She could become deranged at any moment. But that's not the case. She's at the terminal stage of a terminal stage. Or is this before the one we just saw?
This is after.
He believes she's depressed because of the shock of her parents' accident. He came to the clinic every day to cheer his sister up. Satoko-chan has become emotionally unstable and was showing some dangerous symptoms, so we called off the visits. In fact, Satoko-chan is not doing so well. L5, the stage Satoko-chan is at, is a very abnormal one. The man from last year, who was at the same stage, was acting so abnormal that even a drug addict in his final stages would have turned and ran. There's no guarantee Satoko-chan won't fall into the same condition. When we performed the autopsy on that man last year, we learned the true identity of the syndrome and gained a great understanding of its mechanisms. We even discovered some important facts that may lead to a development of a cure. However, we have yet to find a method of actually curing the disease. So if Satoko-chan becomes unrecoverable, we may have to dissect her just like we did the man from last year. How can I tell Satoshi-kun about his sister's situation? All I can do is make vague comments and lie to him that she's recovering. What if she becomes much worse? It would make me an unforgivable liar. A tiny bit of conscience that remains in me hurts. If it's okay with your clinic, can she stay there a little while longer? Why are you saying that? I thought he wanted her to come home as soon as possible, so I'm a little surprised. Well, actually, Satoko doesn't get along with our aunt. I bet she didn't get along with her parents. But she can't get along with your aunt and uncle either. Satoko doesn't open up to grown-ups. Satoshi-kun has told me about their family background. Her mother's constant remarriages wounded her children deeply. Satoshi-kun was able to overcome it, but Satoko-chan was too young to be able to do that. It left her traumatized, and now she has the tendency to distrust or dislike guardians who aren't related to her. Actually, nobody would like a guardian who isn't related to him. It's not just Satoko-chan. Usually people try to deal with that, even if they don't like it. Is that a hint at Takano? She was very happy with a guardian that she wasn't related to. The exceptions confirm the rules. guess Satoko-chan's not capable of that. Our uncle isn't home much. Besides, even when he is, he's either sleeping or watching TV, so he's not the problem.
Yet.
But our aunt really goes after Satoko. Why doesn't she like her? I can guess why. Satoko-chan's parents were dam proponents, and because of that, the villagers considered the aunt and uncle part of the Hojo family and ostracized them as such. Moreover, they passed away suddenly in an accident and left 2 children behind, so I guess there would be more hate there than gratitude. If she'd been obedient like Satoshi-kun, everything would have been fine. But Satoko-chan can't be that way. She shows in her attitude and expressions, which leads to her and her aunt having a big fight. I've told my aunt about Satoko's situation. She just can't understand. I think you're a great big brother, Satoshi-kun. You're the one and only relative Satoko-chan has left now. Right. I feel that way too. Satoshi-kun said with a slight hint of a sigh. He doesn't say it, but it seems Satoshi-kun has grown tired of having to cover for Satoko-chan every time she and her aunt fight. He's a good person as well as a good big brother, so I'm sure he'll do anything to cover for her sister. But that's a very exhausting thing to keep doing forever. Satoshi-kun was already doing that when their parents were alive. And eventually his mental equilibrium couldn't handle the strain. He grew sick and he visited my clinic. I thought his circumstances might have improved after their initial cause. His parents were gone. But it seems things were even worse than before. I understand. I can't release Satoko-chan if things are like that. Her symptoms may return again. Don't worry about the hospital fees. I'll make sure Satoko-chan truly recovers. While trying to pretend I'm listening to his request, I feel a little disgusted at myself for making such selfish excuses. I'll make sure. Takano-san is working on her dissection plan as we speak. If that's possible, that'll help me too. What? I mean, if Satoko stays in the clinic a little while longer, then I can relax as well. That's all. What do you mean? As soon as Satoko comes back, I know she'll get into fights with my aunt again. Then it's back to those days of constant fighting and screaming again. And I'll probably get dragged into it too. So if Satoko were hospitalized for a very long time, that would be the easiest on me. But when I think like that, I hate myself. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun is a great big brother who always sticks up for his little sister. But that doesn't mean he doesn't feel burdened. To think things like that. What a terrible big brother I am. The more I think that way, the more I hate myself. Satoshi-kun said, sniffling once. His expression was one of anguish, as if truly feeling his own sin. His desire to be a model big brother is putting himself under great pressure. I feel bad for Satoko-chan, but I also feel bad for Satoshi-kun in a different way. As someone who knows the both of them well, I feel that I must be their ally, since I don't have anyone else who cares about them. Ah, what a horrible, fucked up world. And now we also know Irie's sin.
Irie doesn't sin.
Or was it Satoshi? I just remember what's sin. One last one or nah?
No, let's save her.
Wait, we've done 1,
done for today.
3, 7, 11, 14.
Someone thought we did more.
Yeah. You're slow, Tifa. One more. No,
I am done for today.
Wow. A good run. Thank you very much.
I thought so too. Tuesday is another day.
I love that in the saving thing, because we're still at this part of the game. It's connecting fragments.
Just overwrite them.
No.
It's gonna be easier to recognize, I wanna say.
It's always the latest one, Tifa. It's not that difficult to take apart.
We all have some errands tomorrow.
No errands.
I never say that.
Samus errands from Metroid when she has to forget to buy the milk.
But yeah, unfortunately there are some errands tomorrow.
Like what?
Like going to work.
That's not an errand. Wait, I need to Google that. Is going to work considered an errand?
By the definition, I don't think so. I want to say an errand is something you do, like maybe on a weekly, monthly basis, nothing you do every day. That comes back, something you just need to do and take care of.
Yeah, most people, virtually everybody agrees going to work is not considered an errand. Work! I might have to go into the office tomorrow. I need to double check my agenda for tomorrow. It's either tomorrow or Tuesday. I hope it's tomorrow because Tuesday we stream.
Oh, like that. Fair.
Yeah, I mean, that works either way, but I like the being home a bit before the stream starts and like get into a headspace.
Understandable.
A great the fuck you. Yes, work is cringe. I
could do without work.
I wish we could just all at the same time win all the lotteries in the world, and then we wouldn't have to go to work anymore.
Yeah, an early retirement.
Yeah, or if every country unilaterally would pass a law that makes it so that CEOs have to kick back a significant amount of the money they make to the people that work under them, so that everybody would earn plenty of money. That would be nice.
And work less.
Yeah, of course. If I were able to double my salary, I would halve the amount of hours I work. Because I can pay my bills, I can pay for my vices, which is video games and traveling every now and then. What more do I need? Exactly,
true.
More time to enjoy the things I want to enjoy. We will have robots soon. I see it when I see it. Did you see, by the way, Tifa, that somebody is working, or some company is working on a robot that is using over 1,000, I think, artificial muscles? It looks creepy as hell.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Robot 1,000 artificial muscles.
You put in 100 though.
The Protoclone. The Protoclone V1 is a sweating robot with 1,000 artificial muscles.
Why do they have to make it sweat?
To dissipate heat, just like the human body.
Okay, fair.
Why do I think there's a good chance that the person who came up with making a humanoid-looking robot sweat didn't do it from an engineering standpoint, but this will make it easier to masturbate to standpoint?
Well, I don't think being replaced by robots is still gonna happen within our lifetime.
It depends on the progress for robots.
As in walking AI robots? No, I don't think so.
A degenerate move. Or a person of great value to humanity. Just saying.
I think I'm still gonna pass on that.
I think it's in Metal Gear Solid. I think it's in the first one, where they actually have a little bit about how robots in anime and manga have informed or do inform the design in military. I think that's a great idea. You know, does it really matter how you got the idea to make something that works well?
No, not really. Well, it depends on how you got there, I guess, but then we go into the...
Are we going to talk about the
lines.
How do we know again that humans are like 60-something% water?
Basically,
because
like
of
that,
people like Irie, who is not that bad of a person.
Exactly, he's alright.
Life imitates
That's what the
art.
word alright is made for.
Otacon was really into police notes. I still want to play... I've never actually played police notes. We did Snatcher on stream. That was...
Snatcher.
Yeah, Snatcher was one of those games I wish we would have played permanently with a guide open. Because you can get hard stuck so many times.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. I had to put...
I'm Gillian Seed.
It had a really great scant, or what do you say? I know you mispronounce it in the thingy.
In our intro on how to, like in the clip thing, in every single clip, I mispronounce a word. Pay attention to it, people. It had a really great scant. I said scant, not sent.
Yeah.
I don't think we should recreate Eva's. Yes. Yes, definitely. Then again, Psycho, we kind of did something similar. Because haven't there been people believing or fearing that the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland might potentially cause a black hole?
I think that's kind of funny because I have a weekly meeting which is called the EVA.
Oh shit, do you also deal with life-destroying events there?
It's up to the company, yeah.
Okay, God willing. I don't want to get spaghettified by a black hole. This shit existence over. My plan is to make it a better existence.
I was gonna end the stream anyway. I was about to do the soap, Psycho, don't worry.
That is the most offensive way I've ever been told to end a stream. Let's get this shit existence over with, then.
I was getting there.
I know that's not how you meant it. I didn't take it that way. I'm just making fun. Because the opportunity arises. Large Hadron Collider could be a time machine. I have no idea. I don't understand anything they're doing other than going pew-pew with particles and then they look at them and go, science! It's all too much for my brain to understand.
I'm gonna pen. Bye!
We need to explain this one real quick. First things first. No offense was ever... Hello, Skinner. No offense was ever taken, but on Friday, Tifa joined Skinner and Benjima's community stream and they played Path of Exile 2. And Ranger was there as well. Tifa, what did you do that caused the scene?
I said I was going to bed.
And then Ranger, trying to be, you know, welcoming and warm, because Ranger knows at that time it's almost like 1 a.m. where we are. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you for playing. Have a wonderful night. Bye. And then Tifa was like, okay, I guess then I'll leave now. Everybody just piled on to Ranger just being very quick with his goodbyes.
Ranger's like, bye. I'm gonna go to bed.
He was suffering so much, and everybody dogpiled on him too. I joined too. I mean, I'm not innocent here.
It was so funny.
I was like, person yawning, go to bed now, boy. It was wonderful. It was a whole moment.
But that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Yes.
Indeed.
So you
Tifa,
get perfect timing.
Do you have any last nuggets of wisdom to disperse?
Nope.
Large Hadron Collider might have frozen custard too. I would like that. Everybody, please enjoy your Large Hadron Colliders at your own... you know what I'm looking for. Thank you everybody for Higurashing with us. On Tuesday will be more fragments.
Thank you.